It's the Sooners and the Kansas Jayhawks in Big 12 football on a glorious day for college football. Welcome back, folks. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you here on FSN. A lot of thunderstorms yesterday rumbled through the area. Today, very nice and perfect conditions. Jim Knox had a chance to catch. Jim Knox had an opportunity to catch up with Mark Mangino. We'll have an opportunity to hear his thoughts of the game. But prior to the warm-up, you see that kind of a homecoming for Coach Mangino, who was here with Bob Stoops. They were together at K-State as assistants, and he came over to congratulate Jason White. And Jim Knox had a chance to find out what he thinks about today's game.
Coach, what are the musts in knocking off second-ranked Oklahoma today? What does Kansas need to do?
Got to play smart football, no turnovers, got to be good in third down situations on both sides of the ball, and we got to play great special teams. It's given us an edge this year.
Best of luck, Coach. Thank you.
You know, when you saw Bob Stoops and Mark Mangino shaking hands, Mark Mangino had a great comment. He said, my relationship with Bob Stoops transcends football. Win or lose today, we're going to be great friends. I think that says it all.
And the kickoff over Bradley's head and out of play. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 20 for the University of Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the Kyocera starting lineup for the Oklahoma Sooners and their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Jason White. He's completing things this year at 66%. That's better than a year ago, and career-wise, 3rd in all-time passing, 5,945 yards for White as his senior year goes to a crest.
21-3, that says it all. A quarterback's evaluated on wins and losses. He's won 87.5% of his games.
Fakes to Peterson, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for James Moses. Let's take a look at the rest of the Sooner starting lineup, brought to you by Kyocera. The offensive line is a stout group, particularly the All-American at right tackle. That's Jamal Brown. And the backs and the receivers, Mark Clayton, career leader in receptions, yards receiving, and 27 career touchdown receptions. Transition, and it's 2nd down and 10. White. Ball may have been tipped, but Moses makes the grab, and he's brought down near the 27-yard line by Jermile Ashley. Speaking of Ashley and the Kansas defenders, let's take a look at their Kyocera starting lineup here. And up front, Ashley, you might recall, had a blocked field goal against Kansas State 2 weeks ago. That was the last outing for KU and a big win over their rival. The linebackers, Floodman, Kane, and Reed. Reed leading the Big 12 in tackles. Charles Gordon is a do-it-all type in the secondary. You'll see him on offense as a receiver, and he likes to return kicks. 3rd and 3 from the 27 for Oklahoma. Can't find a handle.
2 drop balls in 3 attempts. Jason White should be 3 for 3. Right now, he's 1 for 3. Very, very non-typical. Mark Bradley, top of the screen, number 1. He's going to run a little hook route. Right between his hands, right off his face mask, right in the smush. Got to catch the pig there.
Punter Blake Ferguson is on, a senior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, averaging 42.5 yards per kick. Gordon is the deep man for Kansas, the lone receiver. Ferguson booms it. Gordon bobbled at the 19. Got loose and brought down just about where he received the football. Dennison makes the tackle after a 54-yard punt. Let's take a look at the Kyocera starting lineup for the Kansas Jayhawks. Jim mentioned in our opening comments they'll be splitting quarterback time, but it's Barman's job for the moment here, as Barman, a sophomore from Weston, Missouri, and 4th in the Big 12 in the TD pass category. This big crowd, another sellout house, gets roaring early. 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Jayhawks. Randall is the running back. And he gets it on the 1st down carry. Good push from the offensive line as he gets out near the 22, 23-yard line. And how about those big fellas up front for the Jayhawks today? Thompson, Whitaker, as well as Vaughn is certainly a guy that people are well aware of. He's an Oklahoman and was the Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year last year. And Randall, their leading rusher at 438 yards per contest. Watch for Anderson at the tight end, and Rito is also a good receiver with 31 grabs, third in the league.
Joe Vaughn, the first time a lineman was named Offensive Newcomer of the Year in conference history.
2nd down and 6 for the Jayhawks on their first possession. And a flag is thrown. Looks like we'll have a delay of game here.
Clock management. Game clock expires.
Mark Mangino, his 3rd year at Kansas. He knew it wouldn't be easy. Special times when he was here. He was a part of that OU national title a few years ago. But you can talk to your players all you want, but with the scheduling and the North teams not coming to the South every year, Dave, a lot of these guys, in fact, I think all but one player have never played in this facility before.
Sure, this is Mark Mangino's first time ever playing against Oklahoma here at this facility.
2nd and 11. And complete to the disagreement of the coaching staff. It's taken by Gary Higgins. Now let's Kyocera look at it for you. Defensive line for the Sooners. Their defensive ends are great ones. Jackson Cody is their leading sack man with 4. Had a couple in the K-State win last week. Alexander, Mitchell, and Ingram are the linebackers, and the secondary about as good as there is anywhere in this country. Rodney Poole is certainly a star, leading them in tackles, also has 2 INTs. 3rd and 6 at the 23 for Kansas.
Crowd noise a factor, audibilizing.
And he is brought down. A sack on the play, Dan Cody. His 5th of the season for the senior from Ada, Oklahoma.
Well, what Oklahoma did, Bo Pelini, Brent Venables trying to cause confusion. Take a look in here, and here's Cody, and watch Anya Ngechi. Cody on the edge, Anya Ngechi is going to come as well. Cody beats the tackle inside, Rodriguez, and gets his 5th sack of the year, 4 in the last 2 weeks. He had 3 against Kansas State in the last game, and he gets 1 early in this game.
And you knew Anya Ngechi had to be a defender.
Yeah, because
that name.
He was going to get you.
Tucker, just outside the end zone to punt. He's a freshman, averaging 39.8 per kick. Just did get it off. Rankins from the 29 and is stopped at the 35-yard line. We'll take a brief break. We'll be right back as Simmons made the tackle on that play. Shots from the Switzer Center as we come back to live action. 1st and 10 Sooners. The ball at the 35-yard line after an exchange of punts. And Adrian Peterson gets his first carry. The freshman from Palestine, Texas. Kane making the tackle. The inside backer for KU.
The first drive, Oklahoma threw the ball 3 times. Should have been 3 for 3. Tight end drop. Completion on 2nd down to tight end. 3rd down. Bradley wide receiver drop. Have to punt the football now. Run the football. Get after it with the big fella.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 37. 2nd possession for the Sooners. Clayton. 40 from the tackle. 50. And down inside the 40-yard line of Kansas. Mark Clayton.
Well, I'll tell you, that's where he makes his money. He made Baines miss at cornerback. 50% of Clayton's yards have been after catch this season. 50-year senior is big time after the catch. This is where all the fun starts. There's the miss by Baines. A bunch of yards after catch because of the athleticism and the make you miss in space by Clayton.
He averages 13 yards per reception. He got 24 on that one, and it sets up a 1st and 10 at the Jayhawk 39. First time in Kansas territory for the Sooners. And this one complete as well to the 35 and down near the 32-yard line as Floodman makes the tackle. And Mark Clayton, with all the stars here, believe it or not, sometimes gets overshadowed, Dave.
Well, he is big time. He's the go-to guy. He's the one that can stretch it in the passing game. As we said, his toughness, his ability to run after the catch. He's real prideful as a blocker. 25 touchdown receptions on his career, 12 100-yard receiving games. That's a record at Oklahoma by far. He's got 8 receiving records.
2 TDs in the big come-from-behind win at Kansas State last weekend. Peterson now straight forward. Hit hard near the 29-yard line by Reed and Kevin Kane. And let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma keys to a victory here today.
Well, the first thing they want to do is get Adrian, get Peterson established. And once they get the running game going, they can do a little play-action pass and get the ball down the football field. Winning on third down, Oklahoma converting 57% on third down offensively. Kansas allowing only 25% defensively. Best in the conference both ways. Something's got to give. And then handle Randall. Randall is he's rushed for 105 yards the last 2 games for Kansas, and he's rushed for 4 touchdowns and caught 3 touchdown receptions. He's a big-time player. They want to control him.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Peterson. Kansas swarming to the football. This Kansas defense is a much better bunch. They are defensively giving up just 106 yards a game on the ground, 3rd in the league, 24th in the nation. Tony Stubbs made the tackle there.
What they did was simplify. Bill Young, the coordinator, did a great job of saying, you know what, we had too much on our plate for these kids to understand last year. They know where to be now. They know what to do. They're playing with a lot more confidence, and they are keying on Adrian Peterson. No surprise there. Everybody is keying on this remarkable true freshman.
No gain that time for Peterson. It is 2nd and 10. Clayton comes behind the quarterback, White. Peterson. Easy. Stopped by Allen this time. Well, we mentioned a moment ago, Kansas improvement defensively. Look at year by year under Mark Mangino.
Well, 60-yard improvement here, and then you drop down, 80-yard improvement. I mean, they're getting better and better. They're going the right way defensively. 140 yards improvement. They're allowing the opposition almost a football field and a half less over a 2-year time frame. That is what Mark Mangino's looking for. The defense is playing in sync. Everybody's on the same page assignment-wise.
And here's a 3rd down. We'll see how they work against that percentage. 3rd and 11. White in trouble, and he is brought down, loss of football. Sooners fall on it, though, at the 36-yard line. David McMillan came up with a big hit.
Yeah, he did. He got the blindside hit. And, you know, Jason White, he might be a Heisman Trophy winner, but he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. And McMillan does a good job of pursuing it from behind. Kansas is coming off the line of scrimmage very well as defensive linemen. Plenty of time to throw. This is a coverage sack. Nowhere to go with the football. McMillan gets a sack, a forced fumble. Sims falls on it for the recovery, but he gets 2 out of the trifecta. He gets the sack, the forced fumble, but not possession of the football.
And as a result, pushes them back out of field goal range. And as the Sooners bring on the punter, that's Ferguson. He had a 54-yarder first time. It's a 4th and 17.
Penalty that's being discussed here. Delay a game intentionally done by Oklahoma to give a little bit more field to work with.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense. Penalty is refused. 4th down.
And Kansas doesn't have to take it. What Ferguson's looking for is more field. He's going to either try to coffin corner or kick it right up the elevator shaft and hang it up inside the 10-yard line. That 5 yards would give him better angles to play with. Kansas says, we're not accepting.
Ferguson trying to put it down in the corner, and it goes out of bounds near the 11-yard line. We'll see where they officially mark it when we come back on FSN.
Guy that every time he touches the football, something good happens. Bush is doing an unbelievable job for USC.
Versatile, I guess. Right here, 2nd and 10. The ball at the 15 for the Kansas Jayhawks. Randall. Stuffed just shy of the 19. John is a sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas, from Southeast High School. Speaking of versatile, this guy is a do-it-all type as well, Dave.
He really is a very, very fine football player. You can see the vision, the balance. Look at that balance, tremendous. Lands on 1 foot, spins. Now he sets up blockers down the field in the screen pass. And look at him be patient. Nice block downfield for the wide receiver. Finalizes for 6 points. Randall is the key. He is the straw that stirs the offensive drink for the Jayhawks, and that straw right now has got a bend in it. He's working his way off the field with a little bit of an injury. That's not good to see John Randall getting some assistance. A little hitching to get along there. Not doing well with, I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee on that left leg.
Take a look and we can find out how the injury occurred.
As he makes the violent cut up the football field. Yeah, it just gets twisted as he gets taken to the turf. People fall on his lower leg, gets twisted up under there.
Clark Green replaces him. He led him in rushing last year with 968 yards. It's a 3rd down and 6. And complete, but appears shy of the first down. So they go to the tight end, Lionel Anderson, a senior from Rochester, New York. Rodney Poole, leading tackler on the Sooners, makes the key stop for Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma has 3 defensive ends that are playmakers, and then 2 safeties as well, Nicholson and Poole. And Poole made an incredible play in the open field one-on-one tackle there. The safeties are big. Poole 6'3", 198 pounds. Nicholson 6'2", 216. Big, big safeties that can really run and close on the ball.
Tucker, 54-yarder first time. Boots it from his 10 as he steps toward the 15. Rankins averaging 10 yards a return. Escapes one man. Spins into a couple more. Good coverage by the Kansas special teams. And he stopped at the 29. You're watching Big 12 football on FSN. No score from Norman. 0-0 here on Kyocera's College Football Saturday with second-ranked Oklahoma and Kansas going at it. America's #1 pregame show's back, and tomorrow we take a look at the Jets' best start in franchise history and their attempt to end the Pat streak. Plus, they'll break down the Packers' chances to get back in playoff contention, and Raider star Warren Sapp goes 10 yards with Terry Bradshaw. Fox NFL Sunday tomorrow at noon Eastern. Now for Dr. Pepper Game Break, let's go to Patrick O'Neill.
All right, thanks very much. Wisconsin not looking for a letdown after that big win over Purdue. Why not give it to Anthony Davis inside the 10? Davis would not be denied. He's in Wisconsin. They got the tough defense and now some offense. Up 17-0. Guys, back to you.
All right, Wisconsin rolling the Badgers.
We're talking about Badger D. What about the O today? 2nd down and 8. And out of bounds near the 35. Theo Baines covering there on the plane. Let's go down to Jim Knox with more on the injury situation of Randall.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Right behind me, John Randall. He has his shoe off his left ankle. They're checking out his ankle right here on the trainer's table. He's walking around a little bit. We'll see if he's okay. We'll get you back with that one.
Noxie, I'll tell you, tell him to spat it. You know, tape it, put the shoe on, and then tape, second tape job over that shoe, a little spat action, the double tape with Noxie.
Sounds like a guy that's done that before.
Yeah, you got to get that support.
Bill Ladd, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you. 3rd and 4 for the Sooners. The look in, incomplete, but a flag is thrown, intended for Clayton White on the seat of his pants after the pressure from Banks Floodman.
Yeah, Rodney Harris got his hand in there a little early. Rodney Harris in coverage made contact before the arrival of the football, in the official's opinion. Bill Young, little pressure with Floodman.
Pass interference, defense, number 32, be a spot foul and an automatic first down.
And that is Rodney Harris, the guilty party. With Jason White completing 2 out of every 3 passes this season. There's the action inside, and there's the hit. You saw him bump him in the back before the arrival of the football, rerouting him a little bit. That's what the call was. You can't have contact that alters his ability to make a play on the football before the ball gets there.
11 yards for the penalty, and it's 1st and 10 at the 46 now for the Sooners. No score, first quarter. White on the draw, comes back to throw. The big draw, and Rankins the reception. He's out of bounds near the 37 of Kansas. Charles Gordon covering on the play. Ron Rankins, who 1 catch on the season coming in, and that was in the season opener.
Great route run by Rankins. Watch him get in and out of his cut here. Watch the cut that he makes, sit down, get out of it. The ball's already in the air. That's the thing. Jason White throws with such anticipation and such accuracy. When Rankins came out of his cut, the ball was already there for him to catch. Perfect timing.
17 yards on that pickup. 1st and 10 at the 37 for Oklahoma. Again, they come back to that run game, and Kansas has stuffed that part so far. Speaking of KU, what about their keys?
Well, they wanted to have some early success, Bill. You know, they've been unbelievable in the first quarter. They've outscored people 51-5. The only team that scored in the first quarter against them was Texas Tech, 5 points. They've shut 5 other teams out. Create turnovers. They're +9 in the season, which is 7th best in the country. They've got 12 interceptions by 8 different players. And then their special teams have to be special. Create field position advantage, win those hidden yards.
2nd and 13, White to Brandon Jones. Good pursuit by the Kansas defense, and he's corralled at the 40-yard line. Nick Reed leading the way. Reed 60 tackles for the honorable mention all-conference pick from a year ago, and leading the league not only in tackles, but tackles for loss as well. He's a junior from Derby, Kansas, just south of Wichita.
He's tied for the Big 12 lead in total tackles, and those 9 tackles for loss shows his disruption. You know, out of his 60 tackles, 1 out of every 7, 1 out of every 6.5, he's making a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's strong.
Well, White is 4 for 4 on this drive. 3rd and 13 here. Complete. First down, Oklahoma at the 23-yard line.
What a catch by Peoples. He made a one-handed catch and got 1 foot in bounds. Incredible. I think he made a one-handed catch with that right hand and got 1 foot down in bounds before he was knocked out of bounds. The ball's a little high from Jason White, but it's still catchable. That's a great effort. Right foot down, has control of the football, in the official's opinion. Now, he does get 2 hands on it, but what an outstanding acrobatic effort to get that right foot down before he goes out of bounds.
12th catch of the year for Peoples, and you're seeing the depth of the receiving core here at Oklahoma. 1st and 10 at the 23. Sooners' best drive. Now they come back to Peterson. He busts one, turns the corner, and Peterson drives it down to the 20-yard line. Remember, he needs 99 yards today to get 1,000 for the season. Harris made the tackle.
And he blew a tire. He's going to have to go get a pit stop and change that tire out. He ran out of his shoes, he's so fast. But he breaks the tackle from Reed, the Big 12 leading tackler. Watch the penetration that Kansas gets. Look at him trying to get up the football field. There's Reed with the disruption. He can't make the tackle. Nice sustaining of the block by Jamal Brown, allowing him to bounce it to the outside.
2nd and 7 from the 20 now. Wilson, the man in motion. White gives to Kewan Jones. Jones stopped at the forward progress of the 17. Kevin Kane there. Kewan Jones, a junior from Tulsa out of Jenks High School, and 309 yards rushing coming in. Last year, he led the Sooners with 925 and 13 touchdowns.
I'll tell you, every team in the country would love to have Kewan Jones as a running back, and this kid's backing it up here at Oklahoma. Davin Joseph right there, number 77. Great football player. Going to talk about him a little bit. This guy is a high school wrestling champion, long-armed, big 320-pound athletic guy. Because of wrestling, he's got tremendous balance. His ankles are over his feet, his knees over his ankles. It's hard to get him off balance. This kid is going to be a star, believe me.
He leads the way for guys like Adrian Peterson, who last week carried it 36 times against Kansas State. Tough yards for 130 yards. Bob Stoops was asked, did he ever envision that kind of load?
Sure. We did, you know, so would I have envisioned that the first game of the year? Probably no. But by the 6th game, sure. And also, what you guys all fail to realize is you keep just talking about Adrian. Well, I realized that we had a stronger offensive line back. I understood that we had worked harder on our way we were going to run it and how we were going to run it. We have an incredible fullback. We've got a stronger tight end to block. So I also realized that the pieces with the running back were going to be stronger and better. So we did anticipate being able to run this way and for it to be a stronger factor in our offense.
Yeah, he's telling everybody, don't forget the big guys up front.
Well, you're right. The big guys up front, and J.D. Runnels, the fullback, he hasn't carried the football once all season long. He's got 7 catches, but that's like another lineman. J.D. Runnels in the backfield, lead blocking for Peterson.
11th play of the drive for Oklahoma. 3rd and 4 from the 17. White dancing now. Goes to the right. Got rid of it. Kansas good pressure as he never had a chance to get a good look. McMillan and Ashley all over him back there.
This Kansas defense, as we said, had only given up 5 points in the first quarter all season long. You shut out 5 opponents in the first quarter. You're starting games off well prepared. And Mark Mangino and his defensive staff, head by Bill Young, the defense coordinator, tip of the cap there. They hold this to nothing but a field goal opportunity in the red zone for the Sooners.
Here is Trey DiCarlo for a 34-yard attempt. 6 of 9 on the year. His longest 35, but it's blocked by Kansas. And recovered by the Jayhawks.
I think Gordon got it.
Gordon got the block. And
Charles Gordon,
Ashley, I think, then recovered it.
I think you're right. Charles Gordon, the best athlete on this football team, Bill. This guy has got 3 interceptions at cornerback. He's played wide receiver. He's thrown a touchdown pass. Now he blocks a field goal. Man, just an incredible effort. Watch him come here off the edge. Here he comes, short corner, boom. Just clean as a whistle. And that's a very athletic play by Ashley to field the fortuitous bounce. Tremendous play by Gordon. He had a great aiming point. He just takes the ball right off the Carlos' foot. Gordon smothered it. Excellent effort.
And then don't be surprised to see him in as a receiver. 1st and 10 for Kansas from the 26. And Clark Green totes it now to the 33.5 yard line. Rufus Alexander, the weak side backer, there to make the tackle.
Well, one thing Mark Mangino said, I want my special teams to be special. A block kick is special. You know, particularly when it's makeable range being snapped from in the red zone. Mark Mangino has to be excited about the start of his football team, although some guys are getting nicked up. He's already lost Randall a little bit to an injury, and there's Charles Gordon. What a football player. This kid is smart, too. As you mentioned, Bill, 15-20% of the time he spends with the offense during the week. The rest of the time with the defense, he's a receiver. He can throw the football. He can block kicks. That is one special football player right there.
And as he gets a brief break, you noticed 84. That is Brandon Rito. Rito, the senior, wide out, and he goes hobbling off. 2nd and 3 for the Jayhawks at their own 33. No score here in Norman. Barman puts it in the belly of Green, and Green rolls for the first down to the 39-yard line, and Magruder and Mitchell make the stop for the Sooners. Let's go back down to Jim Knox.
Okay, right now, Bill, if we take a look to the left down here, John Randall is running up and down the sidelines, trying to test that left ankle out. Dave, you called it right on the head. He retaped it, and right now he's giving it a go. We'll see if he'll get back in, guys. Right now it looks pretty positive.
Tell you, Knox, they need him. And that's no secret. You don't have to be a football Einstein to realize that they need Randall out there. And another injury. This time an Oklahoma Sooner.
This comes after Kansas' first down, and we've got 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. That's how the defenses have taken care of things here. College Football Saturday continues tonight when Charles Frederick and the Washington Huskies try to upset Matt Leinart and the #1 ranked USC Trojans. All begins at 6 Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific here on FSN. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. Our 1-2 weekend on FSN. And of course, here we've got Heisman candidates with White and Peterson, Leinart and Bush for USC.
Teammates.
Wow. Players. And all do things a little bit differently.
Peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and marshmallow. I mean, you know, they're good separately, they're better together. I'll tell you, a little synergy there. Lynn Magruder was the injured defensive tackle, the Oklahoma Sooners, but he made it to the sideline okay.
On the 1st and 10 from the 39, Oklahoma's defense challenges, and Burdine makes the play. Larry, a sophomore from Lawton, Oklahoma. First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O.
You know, the defensive ends, there are 3 of them, Bill, that make plays for this Sooner defense. Jonathan Jackson, Larry Burdine, and Dan Cody. So they run a spinner defense, and they get all 3 of them on the field at the same time, and they'll line Cody up in different spots. Cody's up top here right now.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Barman. Nearly picked off. Intended for Simmons, the junior from DeSoto, Texas. And Anya Nagetcha was there to cover on the play.
Anya Nagetcha almost got the ball. He made a tremendous read, good route recognition, and he'll break on the football. Out of pocket, Anya Nagetcha said, you know what? I have a right to this space as well. He decides to just slap it to the turf, almost like a volleyball spike, instead of trying to make a play on the football.
Kansas 0 of 2 in 3rd down conversions, and it's 3rd and 10, the ball on the 39, and they're last in the league at 32% on the year. Barman, and he completes it out near the 45-yard lines to end the first quarter. As Bassie makes the play, and a first half where the defenses have been in control. The end of the first quarter, our score 0-0, Kansas and Oklahoma. You're watching College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera on FSN. Welcome back. the Switzer Center in the end zone here at Oklahoma. You'll see the Heisman trophies, 104. Jason White bringing that one back from New York last year. And of course, in the contention for another one this year, although the talk certainly hasn't been as much there. He hasn't thrown it as much because they've been able to run it so well.
And that's even better because, as we said, the last 2 games against Texas, they had to run the football to win it, and they did. And against Kansas State, they had to throw the football to win it, and they did that too.
4th and 4, Tucker on to punt, stands at his own 31. Rankins staying away. Oh, now he picks it up on the dribble. 20. Flag is thrown.
Got an illegal block in the back.
Stopped at the 21. A 41-yard punt for Kyle Tucker.
I think we have an illegal block in the back taking place here right out in the open field. That's going to cost Oklahoma field position. Bob Stoops not happy about that. Against Kansas State, his offense didn't commit 1 penalty. Jason White did a great job of managing the team. Defensively and special teams, too many penalties from Mr. Stoops.
During the run back, block in the back, 22 on the receiving team, half the distance from the penalty, from the flag, first down.
Onion to get you. You got to get you legally, not in the back. And Bob Stoops not happy about it.
One thing he is happy about thus far, 6 games in, is the balance of their offense, and maybe our little pie chart will show it best on how they've improved in that area this year.
And they're running the ball 236 plus yards a game, throwing it for 213. And the play selection, pretty balanced. And the yards production, exceptionally balanced. And here's what we have going on. Kansas doing a good job of stuffing the run. Look at that, 7 attempts, no yards. Throwing the football a little bit. 11 completions for 79. Backed up, they'll probably throw it a little bit here too.
Peterson, 4 carries, 7 yards. White rolls out. Incomplete, flag thrown. Intended for Brandon Jones, and Baines was all over him, and he's also hobbling.
Yeah, he grabbed him and twisted him before the arrival of the football, and I think he felt like he had no choice. Jones had him beaten to the inside, so he pulled Jones down basically once he jumped to leave his feet before the ball got there. Jones goes up, pulls him, close. But the thing that is good for Oklahoma about this play, you see the left arm's wrapped around him, pulling that left shoulder down of Jones. But
pass interference
to see Jason White.
Number 23, ball be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
To see Jason White mobile out of pocket. Last year with the bad knee, bad ankle, he could not do that. Now Jason White has his legs back under him. As you can see, he has no knee braces. No knee braces this year. Last year he had the knee braces double. No trips to the training room. This is a healthy Jason White. He doesn't have to play from shotgun. He can get up under center, push off from center. He can get out of pocket, throws accurately on the run. Much different year for him physically.
And then mentally, you've got the leadership part and having gone through what he did last year to take him to the brink of a national title. 1st and 10 at the 24. White going deep, just missing on the connection. For Dr. Pepper game break, let's go to Patrick O'Neill.
Man, what a catch.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us here as excitement down in Starkville today. Great college football action around the country. And right here, we got a dandy 0-0 in the beginning of the second quarter. And on a 2nd and 10, the completion to Clayton. He's knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line, just shy of the first down. Charles Gordon covering on the play. And Gabriel Toomey, a former Oklahoma signee, was also there.
Vintage Clayton right here. The fun starts after the catch. This is when all the action happens. It's like a long lateral. Now he's out in the perimeter in space, and he makes a couple people miss, lowers his shoulder pads to get extra yards. No one questions his work ethic. He's a 5th-year senior, still trying to find little ways. He takes no shortcuts. How can I improve running this route? Always trying to make himself better.
After 1,425 yards receiving last year. 3rd and 3.
Good.
And the completion to Runnels, and out of bounds, he gets the first down. And you look at that stat, Dave, you mentioned earlier. Okay, his 8th reception of the year, he gets a few yards here, but look how important it is.
No doubt. And let the big dog eat. All he does is block, reward him a little bit, throw him a bone. He hasn't run the ball yet this year. but that's his 8th catch of the season, and he is extremely important lead blocking for the tailback, Adrian Peterson. And it's just they've got every component that's playing on a very, very high level for Oklahoma. Kansas doing a great job defensively today, though.
1st and 10 at the 39 of Kansas. Clayton goes in motion. Sets up at the top with Wilson. White. Clayton, he's gone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. 61 yards.
That's the 60th career touchdown for the Heisman Trophy winner last season, Jason White.
Well, you're just not going to hold this explosive offense at bay all day. They average 34 points a game, 3rd in the Big 12, 18th nationally. And White and Clayton got it going again here. They had 2 touchdown receptions in their connection last weekend at Kansas State.
Too many weapons. You know, you load the box to stop the run, they'll hurt you with the pass. You spread them out, throw it, then they'll hurt you with the run.
DiCarlo for the point after.
Got a penalty, Bill.
And a flag is thrown. DiCarlo hit 25 of 26 coming in here.
Illegal formation on the offense.
Didn't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma was bending that extra point protection team too much. You have to get up on that line of scrimmage. You can't make a big horseshoe and end up off the line of scrimmage almost in a wing-back position. The down linemen have to get up on the line of scrimmage, not bowing back. That's what Bob Stoops is telling his linemen right now. You got to be on the line of scrimmage. Get up there.
Both these head coaches really live the special teams game, and that's why both these teams are generally very good at it.
Yeah, on the
They're personally involved, aren't they?
Oh yeah, on the walkthrough when it got to special teams, Bob Stoops was right out there, front and center, giving all the instructions.
So DiCarlo steps it back from the 15 now, and he strikes this one. No flags this time as Clayton with his 5th touchdown reception, and White his 60th career TD pass. Oklahoma on the board first, 7-0 here in Norman. You're watching it all on FSN.
You're watching FSN Southwest.
More hardware from the Switzer Center here on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. Welcome back, everyone, to Kyocera College Football Saturday. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you, with Oklahoma striking first here today, and the Dodge scoring drive for the Sooners. They did it through the air, 4 plays, 91 yards. Clayton a 61-yarder to cap it off. And DiCarlo's kickoff goes deep and out of the end zone. No return possible. Let's set up how that TD came about, Dave.
Yeah, Bill, it was a great job by Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator. Mark Clayton in the slot. He'll go in motion, run his route, and he's going to get matched up on Tony Stubbs, a safety for Kansas. You get your best wide receiver in a matchup speed mismatch against the safety Stubbs. He runs the post. Stubbs can't stay with him. See ya, touchdown. Little motion, window dressing motion, get the matchup, or formation, window dressing motion, get the matchup you want, and take advantage of it. Nice job by Chuck.
Longest TD reception of the career of Clayton. Randall back in and gets the football on a 1st and 10 from the 20, and the Sooner defense is stiff there as Odell and Burdine make the tackle. First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O. 2nd and 9, the ball at the 21. Let's see if the Jayhawks can answer after Oklahoma's first score coming here in the 2nd quarter. Picked up, but it is complete. This is Rito. Rito will go untouched. Touchdown Jayhawks. There's your answer, baby.
You're not
78 yards.
You're not kidding. You roll the dice. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Oklahoma went for the interception and came up empty. And boy, did it cost. Brodney Poole, I believe, is the defender, the safety that tried to make the interception. And it was all or nothing. He didn't get all. He got nothing. Barman showing a little arm strength, and more arm strength than Brodney Poole, I think, thought he had. Got the ball to that sideline on that deep out pattern very, very effectively.
Scott Webb for the PAT. He's been 18 of 18. He stays perfect on the year. And Brandon Rideau, the longest TD reception of his career. And we start all over. 7-7 Kansas and second-ranked Oklahoma. Kansas ties it up on the Barman TD toss to Rideau. And now kicking off, Johnny Beck, a senior out of Kansas City, Kansas. Deep man for Oklahoma is Bradley. Stands at the 2 in the center of the field. He'll bring it. Bradley. 15, 20. And brought down there. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier. By Dr. Pepper. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. By Mortal Kombat, it will consume you. Mortal Kombat Deception, now online. And the first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. It's all about the O. Another sellout house here in Oklahoma. What a dandy we got thus far. 7-7, 13:27 to go. Dodge scoring drive for KU, 2 plays, 80 yards. Sooners. Play action. Right. Incomplete over the head of Travis Wilson. Let's go back to that Kansas touchdown.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. And what you have is Anya Ngecha is the cornerback. But the safety, Brodney Poole, takes too flat an angle over the top. Here comes Anya Ngecha. He's going to let Rideau go over the top. Look at the bad angle that Brodney Poole takes. When he takes that flat, poor angle, the ball's over his head. Big gamble. Rideau, I should say, for the touchdown. Too bad.
Well, and safety not living up to the name of his position.
Bad angle, took the flat angle.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Not much doing again for Adrian Peterson. Let's go down to Jim Knox after the tackle by Kane.
Another key injury for Kansas. Theo Baines, the fine quarterback, number 20 right here on the bench. Right knee injury. He is through for the game. And guys, a little bit more about Rideau. He came out a couple of series ago with a right ankle injury. They retaped it, then he came back, caught that touchdown pass. I think he got healthy really quick.
Yeah, it looked like he was running pretty well, Knoxy. I tell you, the way they're going down, Knoxy, you're going to have to get those shoulder pads. Why don't you just switch out the units? You know what? You give Baines your coat and tie, and you take the shoulder pads. Get out there a little bit.
Jim's the most in shape member of our crew,
he
right?
can get out. He's the youngest. He can get after it.
3rd 12 for the 21 for Oklahoma. White dumps it off to Moses, and Moses hit at the 25-yard line. Nick Reed, boy, he is all over the field, living up to that #1 tackling position in the Big 12.
He was a quarterback. Nick Reed came to Kansas to play quarterback. Now he's a linebacker. That's what they used to do at Penn State. Take their athletes and put them on the football field, beef them up a little bit. Nick Reed's a fine athlete. There's a penalty flag on the field that's being discussed at the conclusion of this play.
There is no penalty. The motion man stopped. There is no illegal motion. 4th down.
The officials thought the motion man was going forward before the snap of the football. Didn't happen. Barrett Rood and Nick Reed tied for the Big 12 lead in tackles. And look who's number 5 there. You've got 2 Kansas Jayhawks in the top 5 of the Big 12. That speaks volumes about the improvement of this defense.
Ferguson is at a 54, and then he pooched one at 21-yarder. He booms this one. 20, flags thrown, 25, and the tackle made there. We're going to sort it out before we take a break as Kansas on the return. Gordon trying to make something happen after the incredible punt.
Amadi had an illegal block in the back, and every official saw it. 3 flags out there. There's laundry everywhere. There's yellow hankies everywhere. Amadi right out in the open field vision. Just a legal block in the back. It's going to cost Kansas some field position. They'll be starting inside their own 10.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving teams. Number 17, half the distance from the penalty. 1st down.
Here comes the illegal block, and it's flagrant. It's right out in front of everybody's vision. That's you just can't make that. You don't pull the trigger. It didn't even have to be made. because the return man made Bradley miss, and Amati still hit Bradley in the back unnecessarily.
That was Ronnie Amati. They have brothers here on the Kansas club.
Twin brothers.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at the 8, and the OU crowd gets into it now. Barman hands off to Randall. Randall squirts through near the 9-yard line before he is tripped up. Ingram and Burdine make the tackle for Oklahoma.
And this is what we're talking about. In a game like this, special teams become so vitally important. Long field right now for Kansas because of the great punt, and then the penalty made it even a more difficult field position scenario for Kansas. What will Oklahoma's defense do with Kansas backed up? 3 and out is their goal, or a takeaway.
2 long pass plays have put scores on the board. Otherwise, it's been defense dominant. 2nd and 9, and here comes Oklahoma again. Ingram coming from the linebacker spot, and he gets his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, you had John Randall. He had 2 to block, and he didn't block either of them. You have to take the inside man, and Randall should have taken the linebacker. Watch Randall. He's got 2 guys to take. Which one do I take? I don't take either. The first one that crossed his face was the linebacker. You got to take him up. You got to pick up Ingram. He was trying to decide, sort it out, didn't block either. Ingram gets the sack.
3rd and 15, the ball on the 3, and a timeout called by Adam Barman, the Jayhawks signal caller. They are in a difficult situation. We'll be right back on FSN and Kyocera College Football Saturday. Welcome back, 7-7, 3rd and 15, Kansas from their own 3.
Watch Cody right there, the spinner. Here he comes.
Little option game. Green trying to get out of the end zone. Forward progress is at the 1. That is not a safety. Mitchell makes the tackle, but we're going to have an interesting punt situation, aren't we?
No doubt. Have to be a perfect snap, because if the punter, you see Dan Cody coming off the field, they're using him as a quasi-slash linebacker defensive end. And here's the play. Here's Cody coming, chasing it from the backside. The option is delivered. The pitch is delivered in the option. Green barely gets it out of over the goal line. If the punter steps off the back line here, it's a safety, and it's going to be a short route to the punter.
Tucker just gets it away. Rankins at his own 49, got a block, no flag. Broke 1 tackle and then got smothered at the 46-yard line of Kansas after a 51-yard kick. If you've just joined us, big plays so far here today. 61 yards from White to Clayton.
Yeah, Clayton got the mismatch. Clayton, the fastest receiver on Stubbs, the safety for Kansas. Here's your safety making a mistake. Yeah, Poole taking a very flat angle, very flat approach to the football, and off to the races.
Rito, 78 yards from Barman.
Tell you what, big plays have been the offensive output in this football game, just 2 of them.
Sooners great field position after the big defensive stance. 1st and 10 at the 46. Peterson. And Peterson has been bottled up thus far. Both teams' running games have. And as a team, OU's 8 for -2. As for Adrian Peterson, his yards have been tough to come by as well.
He's got a bullseye on his back right there. Everybody's saying, you know what, you're not going to get Kansas is saying you're not going to get 1,000 yards today. 9 yards on 6 carries, 1.1 per rush.
2nd and 6 at the 43. White. Peoples. And loose but out of bounds, and close to the 1st down marker. Ronnie Amati made the tackle.
And really, the balance in the offense is what Oklahoma is going to have to do today. Kansas is obviously taking Adrian Peterson out of the game. They're saying you're going to have to earn every yard, and it's going to be tough sledding for you today. But you have the Heisman Trophy winner throwing the football. So now, and you got Clayton to throw it to and others. The passing game may have to step up today, because Kansas doing a nice job in the box right here. They're doing it with 6 and 7 in the box, which is remarkable.
3rd and 2, Kewan Jones in the backfield with White out of the gun. Peoples. And he does have the first down for Oklahoma. Amati there covering, knew exactly where he had to go. Nice work by the senior from Humble, Texas.
And once again, when Peoples comes out of his cut, the ball's in the air. I mean, just an unbelievable job of throwing with anticipation and accuracy by Jason White. The two A's a quarterback needs. Anticipate when to throw it, where to throw it, and to throw it as accurately as he is, he's special.
1st and 10, ball on the 35 now of KU. Peterson back in. And stopped at the 34-yard line. Tyree makes the tackle, a senior out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Very impressed with how quickly the front seven for Kansas are getting off blocks. Oklahoma, their offensive line all year long has sustained blocks and finished blocks very, very well. The front four and the linebackers for Kansas are separating and getting off those blocks very quickly.
Both these teams' last victory over K-State. KU had a week to get ready for this one, while Oklahoma won in Manhattan last week. White complete to Wilson. He goes out of bounds. And the short passing game going to work. Amati covering here. And Jason White can do it a number of ways, as you mentioned.
Kansas, they thought that the bye week, their off week, came at a very opportune time, right at the midpoint of the season, and you get a chance to sell scout. Are you showing tendencies? What kind of things are you doing well? The things you aren't doing well, de-emphasize. The things you are doing well, run them out of different formations. Mark Mangino and his coaching staff had a very productive bye week.
White has thrown 15 of 20 for 173 thus far. Hands it off here. Peterson trying to shut down the station. Oh, he stepped out. But that's why this crowd gets so juiced, Dave.
You know, the thing that Kansas does at some point, and you see coaches talking to you about it, plant that foot and get upfield. I mean, he did a lot of running, but he did it east and west. He did it sideways. They want him to do it north and south. But watch the ability that he has. Make one miss there. Okay, now plant the foot and get upfield. He continues to bounce. Make another one miss. Just barely steps out of bounds. But the coaches, they want to see him string it out, plant that right foot, and cut upfield. Don't run east and west so much.
And a timeout is called. We'll keep it right here on FSN. Let's send it down to our sideline man, Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Bill. Tell you what, Billy Sims, former Heisman Trophy winner here at Oklahoma, also came to practice earlier this week. He told Adrian Peterson, hey, instead of running over people, why don't you run around them? He says it'll save your legs. Adrian says, I'll take that advice, but he's going to do whatever it takes to get the job done, guys.
One Heisman to a possible another Heisman Trophy winner someday. Just a freshman. Brings in our Best Buy trivia question. Who holds the Oklahoma record for rushing yards by a true freshman? Some talented first-year runners here. We'll give you that certainly note.
1978, Billy Sims wins the Heisman Trophy
as a junior. Has
a great career with the Detroit Lions, cut short by knee injuries. But what a special player he was. And one quarterback, Jason White, 3 running backs have won the Heisman Trophy. Will that young man, true freshman, be the 4th? I don't think you'll see a freshman win the Heisman. If Herschel Walker didn't win it his freshman year, the year he had at Georgia, I'm not sure the voters will ever allow a true freshman to win it. But they'll be in the top 5, though.
And the landscape's a little different because the competition's a little bit more spread out, I think. And, of course, later on today on FSN, we've got #1 USC against Washington at 6 p.m. Eastern, and of course Southern Cal with a pair of Heisman Trophy candidates, Leinart and Bush. Right here, 4th and 3, Oklahoma going for it. They're 7 of 7 on the year, 4th down conversion. And it is dropped at the 22-yard line by Peoples.
That's the 3rd drop of the game. Pass #1, pass #3 of the game were dropped, and that's another drop. Jason White completing a very high percentage today, could be even remarkably higher with these 3 receptions. Peoples gets a little bit of a separation on his route. Gordon's there in coverage. Peoples can't. You have to catch the ball before coming into your body. Once it comes into your body, bouncing around by your shoulder pads, it causes problems. First time, as you mentioned, Bill, Oklahoma doesn't convert on 4th down all year.
White 15 of 21 for 173 and a touch. Last week, he completed 20 of 31 for 256 and 4 TDs. Barman, who's thrown a touchdown pass, dumps this one out to Green out of the backfield. He is stopped at the 32. Anya Nagetcha with the tackle, the junior out of Richmond, California.
White should be 18 of 21. He's 15 of 21, 3 drops, 3 very catchable passes. 18 of 21. That's very strong. That's his season's dealies. That's that's 2 out of 3 right there.
Second and 6 for Kansas at the 32. 7-7 here in Norman. And the look in, complete to the 35-yard line. Marcus Henry gets his second reception. He's a 6'4", 195-pound freshman. Lance Mitchell making the hit on him.
Marcus Henry is a very incredible story. 2 days before fall practice, he visits Kansas, and they sign him on site. A bird dog for Mark Mangino saw him playing the Oklahoma All-Star game. He lit it up. He hadn't been signed by anybody. Tulsa, Oklahoma State interested. He comes to Kansas. He's a heck of a player.
Couple grabs here today. Now 6 in the season. 3rd and 3 at the 35. And again, it is complete. And Oklahoma stepping up to make the play as Mitchell comes through to make the tackle on Mark Simmons, the KU receiver.
Boy, they're just such deadly open field tacklers. Their defensive speed is remarkable, and when they get there, they finish you. They don't miss many tackles. This Oklahoma defense, as is tradition under Bob Stoops, can run and hit.
Well, they're second in the Big 12, 20th in the nation in total defense, giving up just 297 per game in yardage. Tucker with the punt on a 4th and 2.
Another beauty.
Rankins at the 17. Well, Rankins has been close to breaking him today. Gets out to the 25-yard line after a 47-yard kick from Kyle Tucker. Well, back in 1993, look at the group of fellows that were together on the K-State coaching staff. That was Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops, Mark Mangino, Mike Stoops.
Now at Arizona.
Nick Quartero, offensive coordinator at Kansas. Bruce Vandeveld is the athletic director at Iowa State. I mean, it was just an incredible staff. And, of course, Bill Snyder is still at Kansas State doing his thing. What a coaching staff. And eventually, 2 of those coaches go on to be head coaches in the NCAA.
1st and 10 at the 25. And incomplete. Intended for Brandon Jones, and Bob Stoops had a chance to tell us more about his relationship with Mark Mangino.
Well, listen, Mark and I have been together a long time. A lot of tough years at Kansas State, early years there, and then we were winning. And then 3 years here, so I don't know, together, we were probably, working as assistants together for 5 or 6 years, and then I looked at it as working with him here, not as he's working for me, 3 years, and so a lot of tough times, a lot of great experiences. Our families are very close, and so, that part of it, we have a strong relationship that's been built through a long, number of years and a lot of experiences.
Kewan Jones on the receiving end, Harris making the tackle on that 2nd and 10 play. And I think the key thing for me, Dave, and that talk about his coaching staff, he goes, I work with my coaches, they don't work for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Bob Stoops, you look at his staff, Mark Mangino got a head coaching job at Kansas off of Bob Stoops' staff. So did Mike Leach at Texas Tech off of Bob Stoops' staff. So did his brother Mike at Arizona off of Bob Stoops' staff. Bob Stoops' coaching tree is branching out all over the NCAA. He's putting a lot of head coaches out there.
He helps promote his guys. 3rd down and 5 for the Sooners, and it is complete for a 1st down for OU at the 43-yard line. Harris making the tackle on Bradley, and a pickup of 13 yards for Mark Bradley, a senior out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Jason White's so smart. He puts this ball where the only guy that can catch it is the receiver. Get it up there high. He's got Mark Bradley 6'2". He says, I'm going to get it up there where Mark can go make a play on the football, and he throws it to a spot. Jason White is so accurate, and he's so accurate down the field with his deep ball.
There's White today. 1st half action with 4:41 to go before halftime. 1st and 10. To the 49-yard line. Tyree makes the tackle.
Well, that's a good hit by Tyree, but Peterson is so strong. He runs very upright, and you know, with that upright running style, he does expose the football a little bit, but he's got good ball security. But he breaks the tackle, arm tackle. Now he cuts it back. Here comes Tyree, and it, you know, it almost doesn't phase him. It just kind of reroutes him a little bit, but he can take a lick.
8 yards, his longest carry of the day. 2nd and 2 at the 49. Peterson again pulls his way forward. And a flag is thrown here. Banks Floodman making the tackle.
All right. I didn't see a face mask. It didn't look like there was any face mask to me in there. I don't know if somebody was illegally aiding him in his forward progress or what the call is.
5 yard
It was a
incidental face mask on the defense. Number 5 will add 5 to the end of the run. The first down.
His forward progress, I think, had him the first down anyway. You're talking about upright style. Reminds us of another guy that people have talked about.
No question, and a Hall of Famer, Eric Dickerson. Very upright running style. And Peterson and Dickerson are very similar. Their body type, their gait, and their running style both have sprinter speed. I mean, these guys, you know, 10-3, 10-200-meter guys that are also football players with functional football speed in helmet and pad.
1st and 10 Oklahoma at the 41 of Kansas, trying to break a 7-7 deadlock. White. Going deep again. Wow. Oh, my, what a goal! Wilson. 41 yards.
What a throw. Man. Accurate deep ball.
Pound them, and then go deep.
Yep, that's it. The play action pass is set up by the running game. And this is an accurate deep ball. Majestic trajectory, right on the money. You cannot throw the football any more accurately than that. Amadi is the guy that gets punished, but what a throw. Great catch as well.
DiCarlo for the point after. It's good. And Oklahoma breaks the tie. Travis Wilson, the junior from Carrollton, Texas, with the TD. Oklahoma Crazies loving it on homecoming. Sooners taking the lead, 14-7 on a 41-yard touchdown strike. And it was a strike from White to Wilson. DiCarlo will kick it off. Our Dodge scoring drive. 6 plays, 75 yards. To June 27. DiCarlo kicks it off, and Higgins will let this one sail. 1st and 10 on the 20. Not far from halftime. Jim Knox on more on what's coming up in intermission.
All right, Bill, pretty nice halftime show. Patrick Kell and Billy Ray Smith, they will go over top 25 highlights and scores. Also, big game coming up this afternoon. Texas A&M against Colorado. They'll look at that one and much more. So what do you want to say, guys?
Stay tuned for halftime!
There you hear it, guys. Yeah, stay tuned for halftime.
On FSN. On FSN. Get the plug in.
That's it.
Come on, Jim.
It's a big day on FSN, Noxie.
Kyocera College Football Saturday. 1st and 10 on the 20 for KU. Swanson, I believe, a new quarterback in for KU, the junior out of San Diego. Now let's go back to the TD play.
Now this is great coverage. It's just better execution offensively. Travis Wilson, this is his 7th touchdown of the season. He gets the inside position, now accelerates. But you know what? That's not bad coverage on the hip. Just a perfect throw. Amadi is just basically victimized. He didn't have bad coverage. It's just quarterback receiver made a better play than Amadi did. 7th touchdown catch right there for Wilson. He's got a touchdown catch in every 5 receptions, Bill. I mean, he's a big-time playmaker.
And last year, 4 TD grabs. He had 1 as a freshman. Big-time performer. Now, Jason Swanson played well in the win over Kansas State. For the year, he's 6 of 11 for 77 yards and a touchdown. He's in the 2nd and 5 of the 25 with 3:04 to go in the first half. And the pitch and the stop at the 25-yard line. John Cornish, the ball carrier.
You know, the new quarterback, Jason Swanson. The kid had a scholarship to Michigan State. And it wasn't to play football, it was to play the violin. Swanson had a scholarship to play the violin. He also plays the piano and the clarinet. Let's see if he can orchestrate and conduct a little drive here for the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm telling you, The guy can play some music now.
If you didn't have that written down, I'd have thought you did that spontaneous.
Yeah, it was.
3rd and 5 to the 25. Swanson completes it to Green. He forges ahead for the first down out to the 33-yard line on the dive. Onyenegetcha with the tackle. Let's go back to Jim on the side.
Looks like John Randall is through for the day, guys. You may recall a couple series ago, he came back, tried that ankle out, but that right ankle did not accept the turf that well, so it looks like he is through for the day.
Boy, and that's a blow. That's their all-purpose guy, a very, very fine football player. Gordon and Randall are the 2 best football players the Jayhawks have, and they're minus 1 of them now.
1st and 10 at the 33. Kansas trailing 14-7. Swanson to throw, and again to the flat. And it is complete to Anderson, the tight end. Knocked at the 35-yard line. Onyenegetcha again on the coverage for Oklahoma.
And this is a big drive. Less than 2 minutes to go. Will Kansas put themselves in scoring position? Remember, in college football, every first down, the clock stops until the chains are moved. Much easier to execute a 2-minute drive in college football than it is in the National Football League. And Mark Mangino showing confidence in Swanson at this critical time of the game.
Well, if people haven't followed Kansas, Dave, understand their losses. At Northwestern by 3, 20-17. Texas Tech, you had that game yourself, 31-30 as Tech come from behind to win. And then at Nebraska, the Huskers only get 14 points at home. They win at 14-8. This team very easily could be 6-0.
Exactly. They could have come in here undefeated, and they're ahead of Texas Tech 30-5. Had a 26-point lead. Texas Tech came back to win that game 31-30. The biggest comeback ever against Kansas and the biggest comeback ever for Texas Tech.
College football Saturday returns next week with a triple header on FSN. First, Missouri battles Nebraska in Lincoln. Then it will be Stanford to take on UCLA in a Pac-10 showdown. And finally, Texas Tech and Kansas State will square off. Both teams try to gain ground in the Big 12. It all begins with the kickoff show, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FSN. Check the local listings for the game and start time in your area.
Take a look here at the North, Bill, and next week,
wide open.
If Nebraska wins against Kansas State today, Missouri wins, we've got that game next week. Missouri, Nebraska could decide the Big 12 North Championship. Look at it, they're all tied up. They go in 3-1, 5-2 overall in a big tilt over in Lincoln, Nebraska. That could be monumental next week.
2nd and 9 at the 34. Swanson, it's banging away. Oh, what a play by Burdine.
I'll tell you, Burdine, Cody, they've got some defensive ends on this football team. Jonathan Jackson, they got 3 playmakers at the defensive end spot. Watch what he does. You know, if you're not going to sack the quarterback, get your hands up. He's being double teamed. Actually, the back was chipping him before the screen pass, but he said, you're not going to throw the screen pass. I understand what's going on here. I'm going airborne. Nice job of athletic ability by Burdine right there.
3rd and 9 for the Jayhawks from the 34 with 1:55 to go in the second quarter. Swanson had the protection but overthrows his man. Looking deep that time for Higgins, Gary Higgins, senior from Schlegel High School in the Kansas City area.
Biggest difference between Swanson and Barman. Swanson's 6 feet tall, Barman's 6'4". Barman is much taller in the pocket looking over the pressure. Pressure in Swanson's face bothers him more because he's more vertically challenged.
1:50 remaining. 4th and 9, punt situation. Kyle Tucker gets it off, and Rankins. Fair catch, takes care of business at the 22, 23-yard line. Well, we've had the opportunity to talk about the Heisman candidates in this game from the Oklahoma side. Well, later on, #1 ranked USC host Washington. What about this Reggie Bush?
I'll tell you, catch a touchdown pass. You know, or catch a pass to set up a touchdown. Return a kick for a touchdown. When he runs the ball, catches the ball, returns the football, a complete football player. His average yards generated per touch are phenomenal, and he is a favorite, obviously. I think that both he and Leonard are going to be Heisman finalists, as well as Peterson.
Well, you can judge for yourself. 6 p.m. Eastern as they take on the Huskies of Washington. Here's Clayton on 1st and 10, 35, and out near the 40-yard line. Now 1st and 10 will be again as Nick Reed makes the tackle. And Oklahoma with Jason White having a phenomenal first half, moving it around. Clayton picks up 12 on this play.
The key was Brandon Jones, his compatriot at wide receiver. It was a receiver screen, and Brandon Jones made an outstanding block for Clayton to get it going.
And White has thrown for 244 yards. Tack on a few more here in this first half as Wilson on the receiving end here.
Now you've got the Heisman Trophy winner of last year running the 2-minute drill or minute-and-a-half drill for you. And remember, once again, every first down, clock stops, chains move. So you got a pretty good situation in terms of a guy that's been here before. One timeout left for both teams.
2nd down and 7 at the 42. That one nearly picked off as coming through from the left side, Keith. Charlton Keith, 6'5", 225 junior.
You know, the thing about Jason White that you have to love, he's the Heisman Trophy winner, and he's no prima donna. He looks for no special treatment, nor does he receive any. Right here, though, he's almost victimized by an athletic defensive lineman separating from the big Jamal Brown at right tackle, the big block that he was putting on him, and almost made a tremendous play. But what a leader Jason White is.
There's their 3rd down look for Oklahoma. They are tops in the Big 12 with that conversion rate. 3rd and 7 from the 42. Oh, what a grab at the 45-yard line of the Kansas Jayhawks.
White is hurt, slow to get up, and you got holding on Oklahoma that's going to nullify the play. But Jason White is stunned, staggering around a little bit, but he dropped down and he slung that ball sidearm. I mean, he delivers it from all different angles. Davin Joseph may be the lineman that was the guilty party, but at any rate, Jason White took a shot. You see him wiping his chin. Somebody hit him right underneath the chin. Take a look inside. Yeah, they may have called Davin Joseph, and Sims is grabbing a little bit as well, and then Jason White gets hit right underneath the chin. And that's why when he got up, he was staggered a little bit. It's almost like a knockout punch. You take a helmet right on the chin, it stuns you. Got to check the fillings.
3rd and 17 at the 32. Trips to the left for Oklahoma. Phenomenal half for White.
3 drop balls in there on those 8 incompletions.
Attack on another one. First down at midfield. Oh my. Peoples comes right back and makes another grab. No flag this time. Gordon covering on the play.
And you have taunting.
There's a flag.
You have a flag because it's taunting after the play is over. And he makes a great catch, and that's a Steve Reich. I mean, that's a perfect ball between the 2 and the 9. But Peoples now, he tosses it to his opponent, and that is taunting.
After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike.
That's the call.
29 on the offense, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
Still first down, but 15 yards after the spot of the catch. Peoples makes the catch. As he goes out of bounds, look, he just tosses the ball to Gordon. Says, here you go. That's taunting. That's taunting. The official didn't like it, and he calls him. He says to Gordon, that was my play. Here, take the ball. Take the ball. I just dogged you. You can't do that. No reason to do it.
It was cute. It was fun.
Cost your team 15.
It's not funny at all.
Right. It cost your team 15. Don't self-promote at the cost of the team.
1st and 10 at the 35 for the Sooners, and the clock a factor with 1:11 to go. And another one nearly picked up by Gordon. Remember, Gordon with 3 interceptions already.
Gordon, great route recognition there. He baited Jason White to throwing the football, and then he broke on it. Watch him right here. He's going to bait him. He's going to stay back. Now Jason White throws it close. Great closing speed, almost picks it off, and he had golden goalpost in vision right there if he caught that football.
Boy, that's a big play in the penalty, because really sucked the air out of this crowd, Dave. They're fired up. The ball's at midfield.
Yep.
Then you put your team back 15 yards. 2nd and 10.
No reason to showboat.
And White come after him again, and this one incomplete. Remember our Best Buy trivia question a little bit ago as we talked about freshmen and running backs here. Who holds the Oklahoma record for rushing yards by true freshman?
World Football League. World Football League outstanding running back. Boy, he was a big back with that speed. He had that rare combination of speed and power like Peterson, but struggling for his yards today. A little over 2 yards a rush.
21 yards on the day, and 9:22 for the season now. 3rd and 10. Oklahoma in the throwing mode, and White throws it away.
What happened there is Vince Carter forgot the snap count. He snapped the ball early. Nobody else moved. Nobody else moved, and Vince Carter snapped the ball count early. The quarterback and center could not forget the snap count, and Carter did. Everybody else was stationary. That's why Jason White takes the hit, the unnecessary hit, because you can't have the mental breakdown for getting the snap count.
So the Sooners want to punt it away with a minute to go. Let's see if Kansas gets an opportunity to work in the final minute. Fumble on the snap.
Wow.
No rush. Now they do put a hand on it. It goes for Oklahoma. Wow. And the Sooners to the 40, the 35, and Oklahoma, if this play stands, gonna have great position. That was Poole.
I think you have ineligible guys downfield. It's illegal touch,
yeah.
and Kansas gets the ball. Plus, man, what this ball though? This is a perfect snap right between his hands, and he's looking it into his hands. Ferguson, it's right there, and just swatted at the football. Rideau again with another big play, and right there you touch the block kick. It's a dead ball right there for Oklahoma or for Kansas. Kansas has possession of the football, but it all started with Ferguson dropping a perfect snap.
And you just don't see that from Ferguson, who is just an outstanding punter.
Boy, when the ball deflects, I mean, right to Poole, though, and then he shows his wheels. And look who we're talking about, Poole on the punt team. That's a starter.
And special teams comes in again for KU, gives them an opportunity at the 36, 1st and 10. Incomplete. Swanson again getting his 2nd series at the controls for Mark Mangino's Jayhawks.
Swanson once again, critical time of the game. He's in the game. 2 receivers, one taking it deep, the underneath hook up. Got to come back and secure that football, make a play on that football. Special teams helping Kansas, but that was a self-destruction by Ferguson. It wasn't anything Kansas did. It was a big mistake that Oklahoma made on special teams.
Rideau to the left, they throw to the right, and stopped at the 34. Lance Mitchell making the hit on Simmons.
And when you don't make the reception on 1st down, you're off schedule. Now 2nd down, short pass. Now you have a 3rd and relatively long. Bo Pelini, the new addition to the coaching staff.
Swanson in trouble, escapes from Cody and others, and scampers out of bounds for the 1st down for Kansas. Cody and Burdine were given chase.
And that's what Swanson can do. A little bit more athletic in the Oklahoma coach's opinion. Runs the football a little bit better. You can't lose contain in your pass rush on Swanson. You have to keep your rush lane integrity, or he will tuck it and hurt you with his feet.
So the muff punt by Oklahoma, giving Kansas an opportunity to tie this one up.
The muff
11
snap.
seconds to go now.
Right, the muff snap. I mean, it's just right in his hands, and it split his hands.
1st and 10. Swanson will keep. Cody comes up with the big play. And there'll be a timeout call with 2 seconds on the clock.
That was a design quarterback draw. And Cody steps up and makes a play.
So they'll come on for the field goal opportunity. Well, prior to the game today, our FSN cameras were checking out the kickers, Scott Webb and Johnny Beck, and they were having some problems here earlier, as that's Webb.
One was hooked left, one was pushed right, readjust, over-adjust, hook left. You know, Webb kicks the short ones, Beck kicks the long ones. Let's see what Mark Mangino considers this one. Beck has converted on his last 3 field goal opportunities. He's the long-range guy and the kickoff guy. This should be about a 30, 34, 33, 30, 43, 44 yard field goal.
Yeah, 43. And Beck, his best is 51 this year, 5 of 9 overall.
But right now, Kansas is 7 for 14 on the season, 0 for 6 from 40 to 49, which is exactly where this one will be. They have not converted this season from this range, 0 for 6. Let's see if they can break that ice.
43-yarder. And now a timeout is called by Oklahoma.
Ice him. Make him think about it a little bit.
All right, as the Sooners talk about it, and we'll see what kind of nerves the KU kickers got. Let's go back down to Jim Knox.
Bill, great opportunity for college football fans to take a big breath right now because we're watching a good game. And get on the email. That's right. Email us here at foxsports.com on MSN, keyword Ask Knox. That's foxsports.com on MSN, keyword Ask Knox. We will try to answer some of those emails coming your way in the second half, guys.
I tell you what, Knoxy, I always look forward to my weekly Knox of Knowledge, you know? There's no question about it. Knox of Knowledge on FSN.
What a night, what a name, what a line to go with, right?
Appreciate that, Dave, very much. Now you're not allowed to email in, Dave, okay? Just letting you know that.
Shoot, he's trying to get you in the lineup here. I don't know if he likes you or not. I think he wants to get hammered by one of these great defensive groups.
Hey, I've seen Knoxy run around. Knoxy can play a little safety, you know, deliver a lick on somebody. I want Knoxy off the edge on this field goal rush right here.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's faster when somebody's chasing him.
Like the police.
You said that. 2nd and 11. Usually he's got his foot to the pedal to the metal.
Right.
All right. The field goal, a 43-yard attempt for Johnny Beck. Again, he's 5 of 9 on the year.
0 for 6 as a team from 40 to 49. Let's see what happens.
But he's hit from 51.
And he drilled it. It's good.
This kick is good. And Kansas takes advantage of the OU miscue and gets 3 to make it 14-10. Mark Mangino and the Jayhawks within 4 of the second-ranked team in the nation on this kick.
And it just had enough. He gets tremendous elevation. Now it's a distance question. Will it get there? Will it get there? Oh, yes, it gets there.
Let's go down to Jim Knox with Oklahoma coach Bob Stoops.
Coach, your thoughts on the first half? It looks like Kansas did a nice job stopping the run, but yet Jason White has got on target throwing the football.
Yeah, but that, you know, we've got a bunch of yards in 14 points. You know, we got to convert a few more. You know, on some third downs, we've come up short. We've got to be able to convert those, get the ball in the end zone more. And, you know, we give up one play on defense. That's, you know, you can't do it.
Real quick, what do you expect here in the second half?
Hopefully a little better execution on our part on offense for sure.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you. Bill?
All right, thank you, Jim. Thanks to Coach Stoops. And it's halftime with our score, Oklahoma 14, Kansas 10. Now let's join Patrick O'Neill, Keller Winslow, Billy Ray Smith in our College Football Saturday studio. Gaylord Family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. We've got a dandy at the half, Kyocera College Football Saturday. Oklahoma with a 14-10 lead over Kansas. Hi, everyone. Bill Land, Dave Lapham with you. What a first half. We'll take a look at our Yamaha first half leaders. An impressive day for both teams in different areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Barman, very, very efficient passing the football. 7 for 9, 101 yards. Of course, big touchdown pass. Redo had it, 79-yard touchdown reception. And Gordon, just a fantastic half. 8 tackles. He blocked the field goal as well. For Oklahoma, Jason White should be 24 of 32 for over 300 yards with those 2 touchdowns. Kansas doing a great job on Adrian Peterson, limiting him to 2 yards a carry. And then Clayton, unbelievable effort. 5 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Fantastic effort on his part.
Yeah, big plays offensively. Other than that, if you just look at the stat sheet, you say, where's the defense? Well, the defense has been here for both ball clubs today.
Oh, you're right. I mean, 3 big plays led to 3 touchdowns. But defensively, Kansas has done a fantastic job once again on special teams and defense. Charles Gordon blocks the ball, blocks the field goal attempt. Ashley recovers it. Ferguson can't handle a perfect snap. Kansas blocks the punt, and this is what they've done all afternoon long. Gap control integrity. Everybody's playing their gap responsibility. Peterson has nowhere to go but sideways. He can never plant that foot and get upfield. Kansas has done just an incredible job of playing run defense as a team.
Take a look at our Acura first half stats here, and you see the rushing yards. Neither team able to do anything on the ground here this afternoon with it 20-14. And the passing game has been big with big plays in that area. Let's go down now to Jim Knox.
All right, Bill, just got through talking to Mark Mangino. He told me he's real pleased the way his team played in the first half. They played physical football, also limited Adrian Peterson under 30 yards. He says in order for them to win in the second half, they have to continue that and also prevent against the big play, guys.
Yeah, the big play, the story of the half, Knoxy, no question. And Oklahoma, decent job on third down. 4 of 9 on third down, a little less than their 57% conversion rate, but Kansas coming in had only been allowing a 25% conversion rate. So see how that unfolds in the second half.
All right, DiCarlo to kick it off for Oklahoma. Higgins running for the 25, spins to the 30, and goes out of bounds. Now our first half touchdowns.
Oh, Mark Clayton, they get the mismatch they're looking for. Clayton on safety. Tony Stubbs, Clayton wins that matchup very easily. Mistake. Redo in the flat. Bad angle taken by Brodney Poole, the safety, and then once again over the top. Just a remarkable throw. Travis Wilson, the recipient of a great deep ball by Jason White.
And first and 10 at the 32 for Kansas, first possession of the second half. And Randall, no go, as has been that running game. Our Kansas keys, early success, and then the update as far as that.
Yeah, well, early success, that's a big plus. I mean, they came out of the first quarter nothing. They've only allowed 5 points in 7 first quarters this season. No turnovers, that's a wash. I mean, that's nobody's advantage there. That's the key. Their special teams have been special. They blocked the field goal, Charles Gordon. Ferguson helped them. Oklahoma's punter dropped the perfect snap, but they got their hand on that punt as a result of it.
Swanson getting the start at quarterback here in the second half and completes the pass to Anderson at the 37-yard line. Rufus Alexander from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, sophomore linebacker, makes the stop. Let's revisit the Oklahoma keys.
Well, Oklahoma, they wanted to get Adrian Peterson established. Yo, Adrian, didn't get it done. He only averaged 2.1 a carry. That's not good enough. Win on third down. They got 4 out of 9. They're averaging 57% on the season. A little bit less than what they wanted to have. To handle Randall, unfortunately, he got injured, so that's a non-factor.
3rd and 5, and Swanson is picked off. No. Incomplete.
Man.
Wow, what an attempt by Shelby, though, as he went high and nearly held on. Brandon is a senior from Kansas City.
He's the nickel back, and he almost made a $1 million play out of that nickel back position. Got the right hand on it, tipped it to himself. Almost brought it in with that left arm, but when he hit the ground, it jarred him, and as it jarred him, the ball came free. What a fantastic effort, though.
And Anderson at least stayed in the mix long enough to keep him from making it.
They reverse roles. He had to become a DB, basically.
Tucker back to punt, 4th and 5, stands and kicks from his 25. Rankins watches it bounce and go out of bounds.
Adrian Peterson is probably a little frustrated. For the first time this season, I mean, he was really, really corralled. 21 yards on 10 carries. Let's see how the young freshman bounces. He's faced adversity for the first time in his young college career. Let's see what happens for him. It starts up front. The offensive line has to do a better job of creating space for him, sustaining those blocks.
Peterson last week, though, was stymied a bit early and then became a workhorse in the second half of the win over Kansas State, where he got some very valuable yards to help ice that one. Oklahoma comes right back to the big freshman from Palestine, Texas. Banks Floodman makes the tackle on Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson last week, he had 130 yards, but it took 36 carries to get there. That's less than 4 yards a crack. Today, he's much tougher than that, 2.1 per attempt in the first half.
Of course, OU fans have been drooling since the day he signed, but nationally, the Texas effort is the one that really put him on the board with 225 yards on 32 carries down in the Cotton Bowl and the 12-0 shutout of the Longhorns. Travis Wilson, 15, and to the 20, pushing to try to come up with the first down. Very close is Charles Gordon, the tackler for the Jayhawks.
He made Banks Floodman miss in space. Travis Wilson catches the football, a very short reception, but it's what you do after the catch. Jason White, it's like a long lateral, that controlled passing game. Here comes Floodman, there goes Floodman. You have a wide receiver on a linebacker in space, that favors the wide receiver, and as a result of Wilson's athleticism, it's a fresh set of downs.
14-10 as Oklahoma has the lead. First possession for the Sooners in the second half. Ranked number 2 in the nation. First and 10, and White complete to Moses. James is tripped up near the 31-yard line. Floodman there.
You know, Moses, he's the primary receiver out of the naked bootleg. Jason White, all the run action goes one way. Jason White comes out the other, throws to his left. That's a good catch. I mean, that's a low ball, and you're going full tilt. That's good concentration, good soft hands. Moses, the Red Sea party for him there. No, not really, but I mean, he made a nice catch on that football, though.
Senior from Houston, North Shore. 2nd and 1 at the 31 for Oklahoma. Moses shifts to the right side. They fake to Peterson. Right. Another one. Jones put it on the ball. Oklahoma. Jones with the bomb.
Incredible.
69 yards.
Jason White, I think, throws the most accurate deep ball in college football. What a touch. What a feel he has. Double coverage. One of the guys in coverage, Charles Gordon, the best player on the Kansas football team. And they get the matchup. They get Brandon Jones on Charles Gordon. Jones, 6'3", 214 pounds, and he can run too. Oklahoma keeps rolling athletes out there. Jason White keeps finding them.
And the point after now for DiCarlo. Bradley the holder. Sooners 20-10. 21-10. And White with 352 yards passing. He got 69 on this play to Brandon Jones, and the Sooners lead at 21-10. Oklahoma 21, Kansas 10, as the Sooners explode here to start the second half.
Boy, big play has been the story of the game. Every touchdown has been long distance variety. And how would you like to be Brandon Jones? You catch the touchdown pass, and you're right out there covering the kickoff. And that's what they do. They play a lot of their athletes on special teams.
DiCarlo to kick it off here for Oklahoma. Sooner defense stops Kansas, gets the ball back. Jason White goes to work once again.
Oh, what a touch he has deep. Amazing touch. It's like he drops it right in there.
Higgins lets it go again as DiCarlo doing his part on the kicking game. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier. By Dr. Pepper. Be you. Nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. By Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealers. And by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O.
What a beautiful day for the cheerleaders today. Man, you can't order up better weather than this. Brent Venables likes what he's seeing right now.
Sooners D goes to work against Swanson and crew, and Swanson, he wants to go down the middle, nearly picked off. Alexander, the juggling act.
Alexander trying to be the great right there, could not quite come up with it. Boy, he made a nice read, took a good drop, got the left mucker on it, could not control it. Bo Pelini is new to the staff from Nebraska. But he's brought some of his my ideas. The spinner defense with Dan Cody, he did in the NFL. He was with New England, with Green Bay, NFL experience prior to the college football experience, and he's added some things.
2nd and 10. That ball's loose. KU pounces on it.
Brandon Shelby came on the nickel blitz and got home, made the hit. That's Bo Pelini. What he does with his defensive backs in these 2nd and 3rd and long packages is almost cruel and unusual because he punishes people. Shelby comes late, just absolutely drills him. I mean, that's just a clean shot on Jason Swanson.
Matt Thompson smothered the ball then, and now it's a 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Look at the
spinner. Here's Cody.
They come after him, flag thrown. He got crushed. Swanson as he unloads the football.
Were they offside? Were they in the neutral zone? Kansas is signaling that Oklahoma was in the neutral zone before the snap of the ball.
Offsides.
That's what they call.
On the defense, number 80, 5 yards from the previous spot, 3rd down.
Dan Cody a little anxious on that spinner look, getting pressure on the quarterback. There he is up top. He's just well into the neutral zone, into the backfield basically, before the snap of the football.
So 3rd down.
Let's see where Cody lines up now. Cody lines up inside this time instead of outside.
3rd and 6 from the 24. And again, the pressure on Swanson as Burdine was rushing hard. Sophomore from Lawton, Oklahoma. Well, you mentioned beforehand about the defensive ends in the secondary. Those ends are doing the job today.
In that spinner defense, Bill, they can get all 3 ends on the field at the same time. Dan Cody, and then, of course, you get Jonathan Jackson and Larry Burdine all on the field together to pressure the quarterback. That is some serious quickness and speed.
Rankin's the deep man. There you see Tucker's numbers. Rankin's 5 punts returned in the first half for 27 yards. Was close to breaking a couple. And signals the fair catch. Sooners will have excellent field position when we come back. They'll be around the 42-yard line, and they have the lead of 21-10. The political year is everywhere, is it not? As Oklahoma leads at 21-10. Let's go back to the one that got them all going here to start the second half on the TD strike.
Here's Brandon Jones matched up on Gordon. All he does is run the deep post. The safety can't quite get there. Rodney Fowler tries to get there, but he's too late. You have a case where Jones just outruns Gordon. Another great deep ball with the play-action fake.
Sooners first attempt in the 42 to start this possession. And again, he's going deep.
Wow.
And it is incomplete inside the 15-yard line, looking for Bradley. Ronnie Amati trying to cover on the play.
Well, I'll tell you, the defensive backs from Kansas, when they go to the sideline, they better get in the oxygen because they are going to be tested and stretched. Good protection and the trajectory that Jason White has on his deep ball. I mean, it turns over like a punt. It's incredible. And he was on the money again, but you have to give Amati credit. He did a nice job of violently stripping action as the ball arrived. He timed it up perfectly.
2nd and 10 for the Sooners. White with 3 touchdown passes today, all long ones, 61, 41, and 69. And again, he's going to the well one more time. And Clayton this time just couldn't quite catch up.
Well, he read the blitz, and he knew he had man coverage on the outside. Jason White said, if you're going to blitz me, I'm just going to go to my guy. Watch all the people that pressure Jason White on this one. They're going to come with multiple, bring another from the secondary, man coverage up here. I'm going to go test you. Just a little bit too tall. He had Clayton in his sights, though.
White's thrown for 352 yards today, the most that any team has thrown against Kansas this year. Texas Tech 356. They came back to win that game 31-30. Intended for Peoples on a 3rd and 10. So a 3 and out, although Oklahoma oh so close to striking for 6.
That was a very entertaining 3 and out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a deep over the top. I'm going for the home run stretch, you guys. 3 and out, and that plays on the minds of the secondary. Right now, there's going to be a lot of short and intermediate stuff available to Jason White because they have stretched Kansas's defense and they're fearful. Watch the action here. Have to come in to block him.
Ferguson's average 44 yards per kick. Strikes this one well. Gordon made a man miss. 25. Flag thrown. 40. And hammered at the 48-yard line of Oklahoma.
But unfortunately, illegal block by John Cornish, number 29 in that white jersey, is going to nullify the return.
Gordon, he had a 49-yard return last week or 2 weeks ago in the big win over Kansas State. Mark Mangino letting Cornish know you cannot do that.
Cornish had an illegal block on Clint Ingram.
Team number 29 penalized half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
John Cornish, Clint Ingram in open field. Mark Mangino not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. Here he comes. Here it is right here. Watch this action. Book right in the back. I mean, you know, that's why Gordon has sprung free. You cannot just right in the back detonate. And Mark Mangino still upset about it because that wasn't just a 10-yard because of the illegal block. It nullified all that return yardage. That was about a half football field penalty right there in field position. That's why Mark Mangino is so upset.
And now that again jacks the crowd up. First and 10 from the 14 for Swanson. And he completes it to Rito. And Rito knocked at the 19-yard line. Brodney Poole is there.
You got 3 to the right, and it's a wide receiver screen. The other 2 have to block. Rito picks up the first block, bounces it to the outside. The thing about Oklahoma is they can run, and when they get there, they're in an angry frame of mind, and they usually finish when they tackle.
Sooners ranked second in the nation, trying to stay unbeaten, coming in here 6-0 and 3-0 in the Big 12. KU at 3-3, a valiant first half, but in trouble here. Second and 5. Knocked loose on a huge hit as they made a sandwich out there near the 37-yard line. Nicholson with the big hit, and slow to get up is Onyenegechia.
Yeah, Nicholson blew up his teammate, Onyenegechia. Little double move, but you got corner and safety. Boom! Safety drills his own corner. Oh, man, that's just Onyenegechia says, hey, take it easy. I wear the same color jersey as you.
They converged on Gary Higgins.
That was a cocoa bite. A couple of coconuts knocking heads there.
So it's now 3rd and 5. The ball on the 19-yard line. Simmons, widest to the left for Kansas. And out behind him, I beg your pardon, is Henry. And Swanson on the keeper. Close to the first down, just past the 24-yard line. And Lawrence Dampier made the tackle for Oklahoma.
Randall is back in the football game. Randall was the one back in the backfield with Swanson. You can see Randall as he works his way back to the huddle. Randall is saying, this game's too important. I have to get back in the action. And here's a young guy that is showing his teammates something, leadership, going out there playing hurt. And he ended up being the lead back for Swanson in that one-back set. It's a misnomer. With Swanson's athletic ability, it's truly a 2-back set out of the shotgun.
So 1st and 10 for the University of Kansas at the 25.
A little false start up front by Kansas is going to cost him 5. Can't flinch up there.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense 71, 5 yards from the previous spot, first down.
Rodriguez is matched up against Cody. Rodriguez is saying, I have to get off the ball quickly to block Cody. And Rodriguez got off the ball a little bit too quickly. You cannot flinch. Oh, there's the flinch. No can do.
Makes it 1st and 15 and pushes it back to the 20. Swanson. The draw to Randall. Randall trying to get outside, 30, diving for that first down marker, and may have gotten it at the 35-yard line where Dante Nicholson was closing.
Nice left arm, stiff arm on I'm gonna get you.
I'm not gonna get you this time.
Yeah, and boy, did Randall do a nice job with that left arm. I'm gonna get you right there. Boop, see you later. And he's definitely hobbling. He's definitely limited. But boy, is he showing some toughness and intestinal fortitude to be out there. And it's a statement he's making to his teammates about the importance of this game.
1st and 10. And that great play at the 35-yard line now.
What are they going to do? Are they bringing him?
Swanson. About a yard or 2 diving forward. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, exactly right. John Randall looked through in that first half. That right ankle was definitely bothering him. He even looked like he was just on the bench, and then at halftime, something happened. Something had to give. He retaped that ankle. He's just gutting this one out. You can clearly see the right ankle is still bothering him.
Yeah, it really is. But boy, you get that adrenaline rush, and boy, it's almost like a cast. Look at that right ankle, how heavily it's taped. It looks like a cast on there.
2nd and 8 at the 37 for the Jayhawks. Pressure again, and Swanson stripped balls out. That's loose and picked up by Oklahoma. Mitchell still rolling. He scores!
Wow!
Mitchell.
What a downfield block for Mitchell. Somebody took out 2 Kansas State Jayhawks that had an angle on Mitchell, and Oklahoma scores the unconventional way. That is the 17th defensive touchdown in the Bob Stoops era. 17 defensive touchdowns, and that is a momentum builder for Oklahoma and a momentum killer for Kansas.
Jonathan Jackson stripped him, and then Mitchell scampered. And the kick is good by DiCarlo. Lance Mitchell, a linebacker, and Oklahoma doing it with defense now and pulling away at 28-10. Oklahoma and the Sooner fans are basking in the sunshine with a 28-10 lead for the second-ranked team in the nation. DiCarlo will boot it off. No chance for Higgins on a return. Let's take another look at Oklahoma and 3 great plays here.
Yeah, exactly. Jonathan Jackson forces the fumble. He does a lot of the dirty work. The hero is going to be Lance Mitchell, but the guy that does an unbelievable job, Dante Nicholson. Watch him, number 8, gets the block and takes 2 out. 1 block knocks 2 Kansas Jayhawks down, and easy path for Lance Mitchell. Incredible effort. Watch Dante right there. Dante Nicholson. He knocks John Randall into the big offensive tackle, Cesar Rodriguez, and they both go down like bowling pins.
1st and 10, the ball on the 20-yard line. Randall, 27, and stop near the 28. And then you were given those defensive scores, Dave. That's the 6th time the Bob Stoops era that there's been a fumble return for a touchdown. Stoops in his 6th year here. Let's go back down to Jim Knox.
All right, Bill, Adam Barman now back in the game. Jason Swanson on the Kansas bench. Now, interesting story. Lance Mitchell and Jason Swanson played with each other at the City of College in San Francisco. Jason Swanson ran the scout team, and he said he remembered getting all the good hits from Lance Mitchell playing the scout team quarterback. This time, Lance Mitchell got the best of him as well.
Really made it hurt. Wabusi gets his first carry, the tackle by Nicholson. Austin Wabusi is a senior from Houston out of Episcopal High School.
Well, that's just a phenomenal deal when your defense is that offensive. When you can get points like that out of your defensive football team, it's a remarkable deal.
Kansas, 173 yards of total offense. Remember, 79 of that on 1 pass play. Torito. And Oklahoma, 368 yards of total offense. Barman, the quarterback, again for KU, and he's in trouble. Running for his life. And taken out of bounds by Burdine. Dampier also there on the play for the Oklahoma Sooners with 6:35 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% every day. It's all about the O.
You know, Kansas, the first half went exactly the way they wanted it to for the most part, game plan-wise, but they didn't factor in an Oklahoma defensive touchdown.
2nd down and 8, Randall, nowhere to go. Dampier is there again.
Dampier is an active young man, and 6'3", 300-pound redshirt freshman. Bob Stoops, they keep rolling him in. It's like the Marines hitting the beach. They are so deep. They have all kinds of football players. And they keep rolling them in there, keeping bodies fresh. Bob Stoops says, you know, you work hard at practice, you're going to be rewarded with some snaps. And he's a man of his word. He plays a lot of people.
Dampier had not played until last week against Kansas State. Bob Stoops, pretty simple. The best players play. Doesn't matter what year you are, doesn't matter red shirt, experience, the best guys play. And again, that Oklahoma defense is crushing on the quarterbacks. Burdine leading the way as they come up with a sack of Barman.
Burdine, just incredible athletic ability. His first step at the line of scrimmage is explosive. He hustles, never quits on any play. Again, the defensive ends and the safeties are the staples of this defensive football team.
And now Kyle Tucker back for yet another punt. And this will be his 7th of the day, or his 8th of the day, as the game has definitely swung to Oklahoma. 4th and 10 from the 34, flag thrown.
Delay of game, too much time.
Delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Mark Mangino realizing that he's got an uphill battle now, down by 18 points to his good friend Bob Stoops. And Bob Stoops, the incredible numbers to me: 34-1 at home, on his way to 35-1, 19-4 against ranked opposition. Those numbers are ridiculously good.
Tucker gets it off. Rankins. As he was bumped on the catch.
Right, there's no halo rule anymore, but you still cannot interfere with the return man's opportunity to catch the football.
44 yards on the kick, and KU has had some problems with penalties. They average 10 a game.
And as you can see, is the opportunity interfered with to catch the football. Officials felt that it did. It was. Flags came from everywhere.
To make a fair catch on the kicking team, 15 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
That's painful. 15 yards is a painful penalty. Mark Mangino feels that it shouldn't have been called. You have to give Mark Mangino a lot of credit. I mean, he's got his football team. His kids are tough-minded. He's not happy about this. What he feels is a ticky-tack call. I think Mark Mangino may have been flagged on the sideline for being too vociferous in his ejection, and I think he's getting flagged for a bench foul on sportsmanlike conduct.
Prior to the snap, we have an unsportsmanlike on the Kansas bench, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
As Mark Mangino was arguing about the penalty, about the infraction, the opportunity to fair catch the football, he started calmly with the official and then really got after it. And the official listened for a while and then said, "That's enough, and I'm going to flag you." There it goes. Mark Mangino saying, "Are you kidding me?" How many,
I am not.
He's like, "How many flags you got in your pocket?" They're going. You got a bunch of flags.
Now 9 penalties for 79 yards against Kansas today, and 1st and 10 for OU at the 48 of KU to start. Dewan Jones stumbled on the handoff. For those of you in the Southwest, Midwest, and Rocky Mountain areas, the Oklahoma State Missouri game could be seen on your local ABC station. And remember to watch Pac-10 football on FSN later tonight, as #1 USC will meet Washington at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
You know, Bill, Oklahoma is too good to give back-to-back 15-yard penalties to. You don't give up 30 yards in penalties before a ball is snapped. Oklahoma, they don't need help. You know, I mean, Kansas got to remove themselves from their schedule this week. Oklahoma's good enough to beat you.
That was just the 2nd run play on the 2nd half for KU. Brandon Jones, who's caught one of the 3 touchdown strikes from White, catches this pass. Gordon, the tackler for the University of Kansas.
Although, you know, I honestly agree with Mark Mangino. If the guy catches the ball in a fair catch, how did you interfere with him? If he could see it all the way in and catch it, and there's no halo rule anymore.
And he didn't blast him.
He didn't tell
I agree.
And I think in this situation, Mark was like, you know what? That's just, and he's still after this official.
He's saying, you know, if the guy drops it, okay.
Right.
Because he breathed on him. He touched it.
It's like it came clear. My guy, you know, did not impede his vision to catch it. I can see why he was upset.
3rd and 6 for the Sooners. They're looking for a knockout now. 3:14 to go in the 3rd. White Chased out of the pocket and unloads it here. Keith was the chaser on that. FoxSports.com and MSN with our question of the day is which is the best football team? And your response so far, USC over Oklahoma. Log on and vote, FoxSports.com.
What an excellent national championship game that would be if indeed it does occur.
Right now there are 7 unbeaten teams in Division 1A football. As we go down the stretch.
As of right now, it would be Miami and USC though, not Oklahoma.
Ball bounces, it goes into the end zone on the punt from Ferguson, and Kansas will get the touchback 1st and 10 on the 20. And yeah, that brings us to the BCS and the first announcement of its rankings this past week, and everyone here in Norman thought, whoa, you'll be number 2.
Right. Yep. Look at how close it is between number 1 and number 2. You're talking about not tenths, not hundreds. You're talking about thousands behind that decimal point, and it'll play itself out. I mean, there's a lot of football left to be played for sure, and Bob Stoops is acutely aware of that.
1st and 10 on the 20 for KU and Barman. Randall on the carry to the 25-yard line. Glad to have you with us here on FSN and Kyocera's College Football Saturday. I'm Bill Land alongside Dave Lapham. Down on the sidelines, Jim Knox. Second-ranked Oklahoma Sooners led 14-10 at the half. Have popped them twice on big plays in the second half. A 69-yard TD pass from White to Jones. And then Lance Mitchell on a 28-yard fumble return as the defense starting to shine. And now it is 2nd and 5 for KU. Pass is complete to Rito. Rito at the just shy of the 30 where he needs to get for the first down.
When you get an unconventional score, it's tough. I mean, that's something that you don't factor in your formula if you're the Kansas Jayhawks. And that's where Bob Stoops has made a big part of his living. His defensive scores and his special teams. There have been 21 touchdowns scored by Bob Stoops' special teams. I mean, that's 40 touchdowns out of your defense and your special teams. That'll win you a lot of games.
KU, a team coming in averaging 28 points a game. Their strength has been defense as Randall keeps this one and does appear to have the first down. Mitchell making the tackle. And their defense stuffed the run early. But Oklahoma and the pinpoint passing of Jason White have exploited what they've given him.
Well, we talked about it in the open. Sometimes you have to run the ball to win the game. Sometimes you have to throw it. Bo Pelini's defense has done a good job on this Kansas offense, allowing Jason White, Brent Venables is involved obviously as well. They're co-coordinators, but allowing Jason White to throw the ball to win this football game. Sometimes you have to run to win it. Sometimes you have to throw to win it. Oklahoma can do both, and they've already proven it this year.
Venables there on the sideline. 1st and 10, the ball at the 31-yard line. And Cody coming through again.
Man, you've seen him get quarterback sacks from both defensive end spots. The first sack of the game was at left defensive end. This sack at right defensive end, coming from the opposite side. And all he's doing is beating the offensive tackles one-on-one. There he is. Watch him get up the football field. He's got that speed rush. Just an excellent athlete. And then shrinks the corner. Bye-bye.
4th sack for the OU defense. The screen to Randall. Got some room. 40. Flag thrown. He scampers out of bounds right at midfield. Appear to be a hold on maybe Simmons. We'll see what the indication is from the officials. Simmons, the wideout for Kansas.
Cody in the last 2 weeks, Bill, 3 sacks against Kansas State, 2 sacks against Kansas. He loves that state.
Yeah.
When he sees people from Kansas, he gets all aggressive.
Bring on the Sunflowers.
That's right.
He's been phenomenal.
5 sacks in
Holding
less than 7
number
quarters.
83 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 2nd down.
Good football eyes there, Bill. You saw the same thing the officials did, and that cost not only the yards, but all the yards after the play was executed. I mean, the 10 yards is painful, but you tack on about 20, 25 more, and that's what's happened to Kansas a couple of times. One penalty nullified a huge return. That was about a 50-yard penalty. This one ends up being a 30-yard penalty. Those are the ones that just eat you up.
2nd and 16 now at the 25 following the assessment of the penalty. Barman. Again under pressure, trying to connect with Randall, but he wasn't going anywhere if he did catch it. As Coleman was in the mix that time, a redshirt freshman, Stephen Coleman out of Dallas.
Right now, Bob Stoops is starting to smell it. And he's saying it's time to turn the heat up. You know, see, we got this 18-point lead. Let's see if we can get things really, really rolling in our favor. And this is not an enviable position to be in. Sooners 15 or 60.
And at the 25, Barman.
Uh-oh.
Back across the middle and incomplete.
The umpire turned around and made that call. Barman's saying it was a catch, but the umpire is saying no, it wasn't.
Gary Higgins, who's been averaging 14 yards per reception, couldn't come up with this one.
Watch who makes the call. Let's see if indeed the catch is made. It does hit the ground. Good call by the umpire. Watch, the ball is ripped out of there, and it ends up hitting the ground right there. And he pins the ball on the ground. That's you can't give that as a catch. And the umpire turned around after nobody held. He got his eyes downfield. He had the best line of vision. And he made the proper call.
High punt on a 4th and 16, and Oklahoma trying to get away from it. Rankins screaming to his teammates. Does take a Kansas roll, but Oklahoma will have great field position in its own 41-yard line with just 12 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. College football Saturday continues tonight. Charles Frederick and the Huskies of Washington going for the major upset against Matt Leinart and the #1 ranked USC Trojans. 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific here on FSN. And how good do we have it on FSN today with numbers 1 and 2
right
playing?
Yeah, we got them both going. Other Big 12 schools from the top 25, A&M. From week 1 to week 6, the most improved team in college football. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And Bob Stoops' team is built to last. You know, 5 times his teams have started off 5-0. 5 straight years.
First and 10 here, and White is brought down as David McMillan, who has been a force throughout the afternoon. Senior out of Killeen, Texas, coming up with the sack. And that will be the final play of the 4th quarter. Or the 3rd quarter, I should say, as we move on toward the 4th. And all Oklahoma in the 3rd quarter, no question about that, offensively and defensively. The end of the 3rd, Oklahoma 28-10. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on FSN. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera. Our Dr. Pepper game summary here with Oklahoma going to the 4th quarter in the 18-point lead. White, a super passing day. Peterson has been stopped. In fact, the OU rushing game, 2 yards on the day.
We had Oklahoma in motion illegally. Mark Clayton started moving sideways before the snap of the football.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. Number 9, 5 yards from the previous spot, 2nd down.
That's the snap of the penalties that occur pre-snap that drive coaches crazy. You know, penalties that occur during the heat of action, holding and things of that nature. Sometimes you can understand, but not the mental errors pre-snap.
You see that rushing story, but hey, the other side is the passing has been phenomenal. Well, 2nd now and 26, and up the middle, out to the 33-yard lines. Adrian Peterson stopped by Brandon Perkins.
And right now, Kansas is spread out a little bit. They decide to run a little bit of a draw, a little delay inside. And here comes Peterson, and he does a pretty good job of getting everything he can out of that run. But Kansas, you have to give them a big, big tip of the cap. They have done a good job of making Oklahoma one-dimensional. That one dimension has been the Heisman-led passing attack of Jason White, and it's been productive.
Now 3rd and 18 from the 33. White steps up. Wow. Oh, what a grab by Wilson, and a flag is thrown. The 1st down and more as Wilson makes a sensational catch. Fowler and Toomey on the play.
I think they're going to call interference on Fowler, and it won't matter because the catch is made. I think Fowler actually got involved before the ball got there, And so I don't think it's going to be any
defensive pass interference. Number 32 on the defense. That penalty is refused. First down.
Well, they called it on Harris. Harris and Fowler were the two that were in the area, and then they got involved before the ball got there. And it was 23. It wasn't 32. It was Rodney Fowler, not the other way around. And Fowler grabs him before the ball gets there, but even with interference, the play is made. Jason White is still
381 yards passing today. Peterson rolls to near the 31-yard line, and another first down for Oklahoma as Ronnie Amity makes the tackle. Well, as we see White going what could be the best passing day in OU history, it opens the door for Peterson, doesn't it?
Kevin Wilson, the run game coordinator, made a good call right there. Chuck Long coordinates the pass game, and this little pitch to the short side of the field to Adrian Peterson was well conceived and called by Kevin Wilson and executed well by his players. And Peterson's starting to improve that yards per carry now.
Coming in needing 99 yards, hit 1,000 for the season. And the carry, Peterson needing 54 at this point. Upended after a couple. And that was Kewan Jones, I beg your pardon. First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com for name brand products at clearance prices. It's all about the O.
Now, the thing about Adrian Peterson, you won't hear him complaining about a day that wasn't so productive, because Jason White, the Heisman Trophy winner, has not been complaining whatsoever about Peterson's role. There's no prima donnas on this team.
Peterson back in on the pitch, trying to turn the corner. Sheds one, cuts it back up to the 20. And a terrific run down to the 16-yard line, where Tony Stubbs, the strong safety, brings him down.
There it is, yo, Adrian. And I'll tell you, this Adrian can really, when he plants that foot and makes the cut, that is a serious change of direction. Bear in mind, 6'2", 210 pounds, a little counteraction, then the pitch. Outruns the defender. Now he cuts it back. Now he's galloping. I mean, he's a Mustang out in the open field. It takes 4 Jayhawks to bring him down. He is a force.
Sets up a first down for the Sooners at the 16. Coming after White again. He's going to the end zone. Just missing on Rankins.
I mean, that's incredible, because he has been so accurate. Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, you never miss.
And that's the thing about Jason White. You take him for granted. You know, I don't think Oklahoma is going to realize how good this guy really is until they don't have him anymore. And that to overthrow a ball is almost incomprehensible, the way Jason White has been so accurate, intermediate and deep quadrants of the field. And Bob Stoops has said it over and over again. This guy is so efficient, you tend to take him for granted.
2nd and 10. Let's see if they go back to Peterson here. He's got 32 yards on this drive after 21 yards in the first half. Peterson. And again, it took about 3. Be a loss on the play as Gabriel Toomey finally finishing him off, a junior from West Des Moines, Iowa.
And of course, Toomey started his college career here. He was at Oklahoma, was a redshirt freshman, and didn't work out. He was homesick and didn't perform the way he wanted to, and went back to junior college, got himself squared away, and Mark Mangino remembered him. Mark Mangino said he was a good player at Oklahoma. He's got some athletic ability. Why don't you come over here to Kansas and join us? It was a good call by Mark Mangino.
Second team all-conference pick a year ago. 32 tackles coming in here today. 3rd and 12 for the Sooners. They're at the 18 of Kansas.
Play clock problems. He has to call timeout.
Did he do it in time? So a little laundry drop down there. Let's find out.
Delay a game. You don't
Prior
want
to the snap, delay a game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The reason Jason White was frantically trying to call that timeout, you don't take penalties in the red zone. A delay a game in the red zone, play clock expiration is tough. And Jason White is very aware of that. But those numbers, 381 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. High completion percentage, should be higher. There have been some drop balls. He has been the deal today.
They were 5 of 5 in the red zone. OU was last week against Kansas State with 4 touchdowns and a field goal. 3rd and 17 now. White in trouble. Flag thrown. White looking, comes back, looking for Rankins, and incomplete. But I think they may have had Sims on a hold.
Sims grabbed or took Greg Tyree to the ground and then finished him off. Fell on top of him and just covered him up. So I'm not sure if they got him for the hold or not allowing him to get back up off the ground to make a play. Either way, Sims is in trouble. He's the guy flagged. He got his money's worth though. If he held him, he also sat on top of him. There are a couple of penalty flags. I don't know if we have offsets here.
We'll find out. With 10:56 to go in the football game.
Actually, there's 3 penalty flags. There's 3 penalty flags. I don't know if they. Yeah, a quarterback over the line of scrimmage is that signal. Throwing the football.
Holding on the offense, number 60. That penalty is refused. Illegal forward pass, number 18 beyond the neutral zone when he threw the ball. 5 yards from the spot of the foul and lost it down. 4th down.
Wow. Jason White was over the line of scrimmage. It's a penalty of the yards and lost it down. That's a brutal penalty. So the Sims hold here, you'll see. The hold and take him down and fall on top of him, that's declined. But then Jason White, in a mad dash scramble, gets over the line of scrimmage as he throws the football.
Good call and the proper one. And certainly Oklahoma fans not happy about it. But Bob Stoops talked to Jim Knox at halftime about wanting better execution. They came out, they got the big strike to start the second half. They got the defensive score, but they bogged down again here. And it'll be a 43-yard field goal attempt for Trey DiCarlo.
Not a good red zone execution. You had a penalty for delay of game. You had a double foul on the last snap.
DiCarlo pushed it. Booms it, no good.
Pushed it wide left.
So the Sooners on the missed field goal attempt, and they have yet to put away Kansas, even though they have an 18-point lead. Here in the 4th quarter, there's still 10:50 remaining for the Jayhawks.
Now 3 things have to occur. Good snap, good hold. Those 2 occur, but just left it out there. Pushed it left. Left-footed kicker. Pushed it left of the left upright. Too much left in that sentence.
1st and 10. On the 26-yard line for the Jayhawks. Incomplete. Hey, I want to remind you, those of you residing in the Southwest, Midwest, or Rocky Mountain, Oklahoma State, Missouri, a key Big 12 game to be seen on your local ABC station. Also, don't forget the schedule, man, to watch Pac-10 football tonight. FSN will have it for you at 6 o'clock Eastern. That's number 1 USC to meet Washington on FSN. And college football Saturday rolls on our 1-2 weekend.
Boy, that explosive USC offense, well, they score a touchdown every drive against the struggling Washington defense.
Oklahoma showing blitz.
Uh-oh.
Incomplete. Intercepted. Rufus Alexander for Oklahoma.
Off the old tip ball. Kansas can't squeeze the football. Bobble it, juggle it. And that's not Garmin's fault. That ball should have been caught, but it was juggled around, and eventually that's worked on regularly. Defensive backs, linebackers. I mean, that's a guy that's trying to make a play and a guy that's been playing hurt, and he's had a good game. Randall, at that time, he just juggled the ball around and he gave it to Rufus Alexander. He said, "Here you go." And Kansas coming into today's action, +9, 7th best in college football. Is that the first turnover of the game?
Well, we had the fumble return.
Oh, right. Second turnover of the game.
Up the middle, Peterson. Strikes to near the 20-yard line. Nick Reed, the outside linebacker, making the tackle, and Peterson trying to join some select company here today.
Well, he sure is. The only guys that have rushed for 1,000 yards or more in their first 7 games of their true freshman season. Emmitt Smith, the all-time leading rusher in NFL history, and Marshall Faulk, maybe the most complete back of the 90s.
Smith, of course, at Florida, Faulk, San Diego State. 2nd down and 4. And Peterson still high-stepping, shedding tacklers along the way to the 11-yard line. And Rodney Harris there.
You cannot harm tackle Adrian Peterson, you have to bring something. He will run through the arm tackles. Adrian Peterson.
Look at that company.
Yeah, in Oklahoma, true freshman history, starting to climb the ladder. This is for an entire season now. This isn't 7 games.
Yeah.
This is for their entire freshman season, right. The other one we're talking about for just the 7 games on a national basis. This is Oklahoma, true freshman for an entire season.
1st and 10 from the 11. Moses resets on the right side. Pitch to Peterson. Driven out of bounds. Toomey on the defensive work for KU. Kansas coming in here 3-3, 1-2 in Big 12 play. Had a week to get ready for this one after their big win over Kansas State. That was the first time that KU had beaten their rivals in the Sunflower State since '92. Now in the South, it's Oklahoma with a real battle at the top. The Sooners at 3-0, and they're joined by Texas A&M, who's battling Colorado. And then Oklahoma State, Texas, and Tech are at 2-1, and the Red Raiders host the Longhorns in Lubbock tonight. Ooh, that'll be a contest.
That's going to be a big one.
2nd and 10. Peterson at the 5. What a run for a score!
7th rushing touchdown of his freshman campaign. Does he finish between the tackles or what? Hey.
Now you know why so many had pegged him as the best high school running back last year.
6'2", 210 pounds. Look at the moves, look at the finish, look at the strength. Nose for the goal line, hungry for the end zone. That's big time effort.
11 yards on the TD run. DiCarlo for the point after. It is good also. Oklahoma 35-10 as Adrian Peterson not to be denied. You're watching it all on FSN. Sims won a Heisman Trophy here. You're seeing his numbers for that Heisman campaign. That's at the Switzer Center, the end zone museum area here at Oklahoma. And meanwhile, a guy who may someday, maybe this year, who knows? But Adrian Peterson's second half, Dave, look at that.
6.6 a carry. Billy Sims over 7 yards a carry for the season when he won the Heisman. That's big.
Higgins will down it here for the touchback. Let's go back again to look at Peterson's 11-yard carry for 6.
And this is vintage Peterson. The coaches are very pleased with how he likes the contact inside. Runs one over. Runs through an arm tackle, and he says, I see the goal line, and I am piercing it. 7th rushing touchdown of that freshman campaign. He was projecting, halfway through, projecting for 1,802 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns. That's big stuff.
And those 2 big efforts he had the last 2 weeks against Texas and K-State, he did not get into the end zone.
Right.
Today he does. And 981 yards in the season. Back to the Kansas side. If they're going to have any shot, they're going to have to score in a hurry. A little razzle-dazzle on the flip to Simmons. Staying home on the play, Oklahoma, and that's Eric Bassett.
Little misdirection, thinking they're going to use Oklahoma's speed and pursuit against them. Watch the misdirection as it takes place. Thinking they're going to get Oklahoma running out of their lanes, but no, staying at home. Bassett, nice job. That's a great read, playing his defensive responsibility, coming up and forcing the run. Everybody in sync defensively.
He looks on. Bassett, a junior out of North Garland High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with another nice play. 2nd down and 11, and this one is complete to Rito on a loose football.
Saying down, bro.
Yep, they down. Yep. They've blown the whistle.
Saying the ground caused the fumble. Mark Mangino trying to get his team to hold on. Rigo right there, but that's an incomplete pass. Yeah, that ball is either incomplete or a fumble. He never really had possession as he was in reverse trying to get his way up the field.
84,000 they've been averaging here. All thought should have been Oklahoma a loose ball. 3rd down now and 1, and Kansas will have the 1st down on the tough run by KU. As coming up the middle, Ingram stops Wabusi. They'll move the chains for the Jayhawks.
I don't think Oklahoma's turned the ball over, have they? that I can recall. And Kansas has turned it over twice. They had the bad snap. They fumbled the snap on the punt, but they don't have any interceptions or fumbles that I can recall. There was a muff situation on the snap. They still tried to punt it and it got blocked. So they're +2 on the day. That makes them both +7 on the season. Oklahoma and Kansas.
KU coming +9, and that was a big factor for Mark Mangino that, hey, we've been able to get our share of turnovers. Lance Mitchell making the tackle here. Well, today it's gone the other way.
And one of the turnovers, Bill, is Jackson forcing the fumble, and it's returned for a touchdown. So it's not only a turnover, it's a turnover defensive touchdown. And Mark Mangino knows better than anybody that those are the kind that kill you. And that's what gave Oklahoma serious momentum in this football game.
The Sooners trying to up it to 7-0. Boy, a couple of huge road games coming up for them at Oklahoma State and then at Texas A&M. 2nd and 8 at the 40 here for Kansas. Randall. And he is stopped at the 40-yard line. Let's go to the sidelines and Jim Knox.
All right, real quick, Bill, we're in the stands. You know, we had an email from Susan Oskasi. Wanted to find out how's her freshman daughter, Leah Oskasi. You know, right here, she's doing great, hanging out with the Soonermen. Last night, a big pep rally, homecoming pep rally. Lloyd Noble Center, the Alpha Chi Omegas, performing and having a good time, putting on quite a show. You guys having fun? You having a good time?
Heck yeah, go Sooners!
Mom, she's doing okay.
All right, that tuition is paying big dividends, boy. They're having fun. You know, that's part of the college life, though. Learn how to have fun.
That was not a part of my problem going to college. I aced that course.
Yeah, really.
It was that other stuff that gave me a lot of stumbling blocks.
Delay on the offense, 5 yards from the previous spot.
Well, the penalty woes continue for KU here. Boy, it's frustrating for Mark Mangino because he said coming home here, he goes, it's going to feel a little weird because he considered this home where he was at Oklahoma as the offensive coordinator. And he said even though he was not here that long, felt like people here after he left here would come up to him and see him and say, hey, thanks for the work you did. We really appreciate what you contributed to our success.
And he coached 3 of the offensive linemen that are now seniors, Wes Sims, Vince Carter, Jamal Brown. He coached them their freshman year.
3rd and 13, and a man open, and Kansas rambling into Oklahoma territory. On the reception, Mark Simmons brought down at the 32-yard line by Dante Nicholson.
Very nice throw by Barman. Barman stands in that pocket, 6'4". He's got great vision, nice patience. Jackson's there again. Jackson's been something else, but over the linebacker, in front of the safety. Nice execution by Barman, finding the hole in the zone.
Other than their long touchdown pass to Rito, that's the longest play of the day for KU, 35 yards. Now trying to break loose is Walusi. He goes to the KU side and stopped at the 31. Rodney Poole there for the Oklahoma Sooners. First down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. For name brand products and clearance prices, it's all about the O.
Boy, right now, Bill, as Kansas melts the clock with this drive, will Peterson get the ball back in time to rush for his 100 yards? Or rush for his 99? That's the final story of this game.
2nd down and 9. KU moving it. Barman with a pump fake and then unloads. Snap. Mitchell giving chase with the pressure that time. Mitchell, of course, scoring a touchdown today on a fumble return.
The biggest play on that sequence, Dante Nicholson's block where he knocked 2 down. He knocked John Randall into the big offensive tackle Cesar Rodriguez's legs, took them both down like bowling pins, make that spare, and Mitchell had an easy path to the end zone. Nicholson was big on that defensive score.
Nicholson coming in with 40 tackles. He was a second-team all-conference selection for the Big 12 last year. 3rd and 9 for Kansas. Barman got out of it. Oh, wow. Mitchell missed. Barman, his first down, out of bounds. Thank you very much.
Boy, some niftiness there, huh? A little elusiveness, a little escapability in the pocket. Can't question his athletic ability. Earlier in the year, Mark Mangino likened him personality-wise to a young Terry Bradshaw. That's high praise. And watching him here, that's pretty good athleticism. Then he gets smart. And he says, you know what? Some Oklahoma guys are closing on me that run faster than me. I'm going to get out of bounds and save myself.
So he picks up the first down, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line now of the Sooners as KU trying to score. Barman again, he won't get away. Cody slowed him up. Bassey finished him off.
No, Cody is going to be one of those guys that when they go to the NFL Combine and do the workout stuff, he's going to set records. Strength, jumping ability, speed. He is going to be a record-setting phenom at the Combine. But looking at him, he's kind of a hybrid. Outside linebacker / defensive end. Put your hand on the ground in 3rd and long situations. He'll have a role in the NFL, though.
2nd and 8 at the 18. Play action. Oh, he's crushed again. It's intercepted. Oklahoma batters down here, and he rumbles and stumbles across to the 47-yard line.
Rodriguez ran him down. The offensive tackle ran down Peter down. But man, I think Cody gets that, makes that play with the pressure on Barman. Barman ends up throwing an interception. That is a lineman's dream right there.
He says, bring it on, 84,000. Come on, this doesn't happen every day.
Watch Cody. Cody hits him, and the ball ends up going right into his compatriot's hands. And he's going to get dogged in the film room. He's going to say, an offensive tackle caught you from behind.
Cesar Rodriguez with a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, Rodriguez hustled. You got to give Rodriguez credit.
All right, now Oklahoma, the game well in hand, and as Dave mentioned, that Peterson needs 20 yards for 100, 19 for 1,000 on the season. Here he comes, 45, 40, 35, and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And Peterson, a flag on the play, but it's, I think, well after the play.
2 flags, 2 different flags. I think it's coming back. Multiple flags on the field. Boy, this penalty could be painful. It nullifying a 16, 17-yard gallop by Peterson. It'll nullify those yards plus the sounds like or looks like potential 10-yard infraction. Unless there's offsetting penalties here, there's 2 different flags. Did they see the same thing or did they see different things? And if they're different, do they offset? Or are both on the same team? So many questions to be answered here.
Now, what was that? Would you repeat that again?
And they're having a tough time sorting it out. Yeah, there's a convention of zebras going on right now.
And your decision is?
The run gained a 1st down. After the run, dead ball, personal foul, number 60 on the offense. That'll be penalized 15 yards from the end of the run, and it'll be a 1st down.
Well, he gets his 15 yards, though. That goes onto the stat sheet for Adrian Peterson, so tack 15 more on.
Officially 17.
And then Wes Sims gets himself a penalty at the conclusion of it. This is the action. Wes Sims inside finishing, but here's the run. Speed. Good job blocking. Wide receivers doing a good job in the perimeter. Mark Bradley finishing a block, giving Peterson a cutback opportunity on the edge.
So Peterson out 9.98.
Here he comes.
Ball on the 45-yard line.
Going to join a couple of pretty good running backs to gain 1,000 yards in their first 7 games.
Freshman season. Wilson in motion. Peterson.
There it is.
He's got that as Peterson hits the 1,000-yard mark and gets to the 41-yard line. Nick Reed makes the tackle.
Now, true freshman, not redshirt, true freshman. And think about all the backs that aren't on that list. Herschel Walker surprises me he's not on that list with the numbers he put up. But he put them up sporadically, in that freshman year. And Adrian Peterson is a piece of history right now. Emmitt Smith, man, that's high cotton right there.
Fans are being notified on the scoreboard here, the message board. So thus they follow with the applause. It's 2nd down and 6. And Peterson not to be stopped again. 25-20. Oh my, what a talent this guy is as Amani makes the tackle on Adrian Peterson. He nearly tugged him all the way. 21 yards on that pickup.
And this is what we were talking about at the very top of the broadcast, the balance. Here comes the running game to finish the game. Now you have a lead, you start pounding people. Nobody better to pound with than Adrian Peterson. Running through arm tackles, finishing runs. Emmitt Smith, Marshall Falk, and Adrian Peterson, the only 3 true freshmen in NCAA history to get 1,000 yards or more in their first 7 games.
1st and 10 at the 20. Jones, the ball carrier. He breaks the tackle and drags a couple of them down to the 13. Elon Jones.
And you know, that's what is going on at the running back position now. It's competitive. Adrian Peterson is lifting the position. You know, Jones is a heck of a back. A lot of college teams would love to have Jones on their roster. Jones is pushing Peterson. Peterson's pushing Jones. You have a situation where competition breeds excellence, and that's what's going on up and down the entire roster of this Sooner football team.
Well, Jones had 14 touchdowns his freshman year,
right.
13 last year, and he's got 4 this season. 2nd down and 2. Good. The other thing with Peterson, Dave, you mentioned true freshman Herschel Walker. Peterson, there's the look I wanted. 100 yards every game. Normally a true freshman, it's 2 or 3 games in before they start to get regular action. He started from the get-go of producing.
In every single game past the opener, 22 carries or more. And there's the stretch, 32 and 36, the 2 games prior to this one. But this guy's a workhorse. This guy, and a lot of his yards are after first contact, as we've seen today. He can finish runs.
1st and goal from the 8. White.
Wow.
Oh! Out of bounds was Bradley.
The route took him out of bounds. It wasn't the throw. The route kind of drifted out of bounds.
You want to remind you, in the Southwest, Midwest, and Rocky Mountain areas, you can catch Oklahoma State and Missouri in Big 12 football. Be seen on your local ABC station at this time. And don't forget to watch Pac-10 action on FSN later. #1 USC hosting the Washington Huskies, and see a couple of more Heisman candidates in that one. 2nd and goal from the 8.
In the red zone, yes, sir.
Wilson in motion. Kewan Jones. Kansas trying to stiffen up here, stopping him near the 9. Maybe a loss in the play. We'll see as Kevin Kane made the tackle.
You know, we talked about balance at the top of the broadcast, Bill. You have a quarterback that's thrown for over 380 yards. Clayton, the receiver, has receptions for over 100. You have a running back, Peterson, with over 120 yards rushing. That's the trifecta that is pretty darn strong and very, very balanced.
And 499 total yards of offense. Yeah, White's had the 6th best passing day in OU history at this moment. 3rd and goal from the 9. White. Wow. Got it. Touchdown, Bradley.
Laser. What a throw.
And White has thrown for 4 touchdown passes for the 2nd straight week.
And only 1 interception. 8 touchdown passes, 1 interception in a 2-week span. And that is just a great read and better throw. Boy, has he got a nice touch. And he's got a football IQ to boot. And give me a quick-minded quarterback to have the major characteristic, quick-mindedness. Jason White has it.
6 different players have scored for Oklahoma. 4 different receivers, a running back, and a linebacker. And the kick is blocked. And it will stay at 41. Kane getting the block on the point after attempt. White with yet another TD pass. College Football Saturday on FSN is presented by Kyocera, the new value frontier. By Dr. Pepper, BU, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. By Wendy's Kids Meals, now with delicious new choices. And by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Yeah, that Switzer Center has really become quite a sight here on the campus of University of Oklahoma. They can add some more memorabilia after this contest here today. 41-10 as KU takes the kickoff. And it's returned out to the 32-yard line. Bob Stoops and the Sooners are rolling with 30 seconds to go in this one. Welcome back to Norman and Kyocera's College Football Saturday. Oklahoma breaking through in the second half up 41-10. Our Dr. Pepper player of the game, hard to argue with Jason White. That's the 5th best passing day in OU history.
Amazing effort. 4 touchdown passes, 389 yards. I'm sure this award is second only to his Heisman trophy. I mean, getting player of the game is big.
All right, Kansas with a few plays remaining and going deep here, and it is incomplete. Wendy's high school Heisman program recognizes today's scholar athletes and citizens. Packets have been mailed over 26,000 public and private high schools. Online nominations are being accepted as well. All you need to do, get on the web, www.wendyshighschoolheisman.com. Do it today to nominate your Heisman hopeful of tomorrow.
You know, the amazing thing, Bill, about Adrian Peterson is, as a true freshman, he's wearing people out in the fourth quarter instead of getting worn out. He's the young guy, and he's pounding people in the fourth quarter. That's just incredible.
2nd and 10 from the 32. Barman in trouble again. Runs out, fires, nearly picked off by Oklahoma. Tony Cade out of Louisville, Texas had a shot at it. Well, what's ahead for Oklahoma? Hey, it doesn't get any easier for these Sooners, who are going to be 7-0 and 4-0 in the league. A pair of road games, they call it Bedlam here in the Sooner State when they travel to Stillwater to meet Oklahoma State. And then at Texas A&M, and remember how they hammered A&M, and that's a vastly, last year, that's a vastly improved team this year. Nebraska and Baylor close it out. And for Kansas, they go on the road to Iowa State to meet Dan McCurney's club next.
Yep, and then of course, they got a couple of tough ones to finish the season. You know, the thing about Kansas, Bill, they went to a bowl game for the first time in 9 years last season. They have never been to back-to-back bowl games in school history. Can they break that spell?
Well, it'll be interesting to follow. It's a vastly improved team. Jason White and Adrian Peterson lead the way, and the Sooner defense contributes as well as Oklahoma rolls to its 7th straight victory this season. FSN College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera, continues later tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, as #1 USC will meet Washington. Now, this is Bill Land for Dave Lapham and Jim Knox saying so long from Norman. Our final score, the Oklahoma Sooners 41, the Kansas Jayhawks 10.
Well, guys, thank you very much. What a difference in the second half for #2 Oklahoma. Welcome into our college football studios.
Where did you come from?
Don't. Here in Los Angeles, alongside these Hall of Famers, Kellen Winslow and Billy Ray Smith. A special thank you to Patrick O'Neill. I'm Mike Goldberg. Let's talk about this football game, boys. Let's get it warmed up, because we've got a great doubleheader here on FSN today. Don't forget, a little bit later, #1 USC. Oh, yeah. A tale of two halves, Mr. Hall of Famer #1.
Indeed. It's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mike. Sagittarius. Ouch.
2 halves of football. Kansas looked great in the first half, kept Oklahoma in check. The running game was non-existent for Oklahoma in the first half, but in the second half, it was the passing game, BR, that opened things up for the running game for your guy, Mr. Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, his second week now, second straight week with over 100 yards in just the second half, and he joins Marshall Faulk and Emmitt Smith, the only 2 running backs in Division 1A to have 1,000 yards in 7 games. Spectacular effort by the Oklahoma offense, just sticking with what they do, and they just basically impose their will on that defense in the second half.
That's the second straight week they've made great adjustments in the locker room. Last week, K-State. This week against KU. 27-0 the score in the second half. Oklahoma advantage. Don't forget,